Hello, friends. I'm Anderson Marchak,
And I'm Ricardo Segura.
and we are the Panel Bros. Welcome to the panel.
Welcome to the panel. Yeah.
Well, here we are.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, every year, Ricardo and I, we like to do our top 10 movies of the year.
Mhm.
And we've decided to line it up with the Oscars because it gives us at least 2-3 months extra time to catch those movies that we may not get to see. So as of this recording, it's March, it's Oscar season. So by the time this goes up, it'll be the weekend of the Oscars, and it'll be our top 10 for the year. We're of 2025. So
Yes.
we're very excited to talk about this. Ricardo, if you could share a little bit as far as your process went.
Oh man, it was so fun. And obviously thinking about 2025, and I talked to you about this off the air where it was a really good theater going experience year for me. Over the past few years, I don't get to go to theater as much. And 2025 was a good year. Like I got to go a
Yeah.
lot. We went on a lot of these trips together.
Yeah, we
We were
did.
able to see a lot of these films together. And it was like, wow. Like we were like, wow, we've gone how many times this month together? You know what I mean? It was one of those where you got to just like really appreciate it. So it was a good year. And I had such a fun time making this list. I always do, because you get to look back on what those experiences were and like kind of put yourself back into that frame of mind of where you were when you saw that movie. And like always, there's always some surprises on there. There's some surprises on there and go, oh man, I didn't think this would be here or this would be there. But it was a solid year. It was a solid year. And usually when I'm making like a top 10, you know, generally a lot of people, their one and two can flip back and forth. I had more than two that were kind of doing this because it was just like, oh man, like this experience was so good and this experience was so good. And that's a great time, man. That's a great time. So I'm excited to talk about it. And there's some surprises on here I didn't think would be anywhere near my list. I'm like, oh no, it's on the list. I had a blast.
Yeah, I have some surprises too, some that I haven't even talked to you about yet. And
Mhm.
even up until when we're recording, I made one last minute decision between my number 10 and one of my honorable mentions. So
Mm.
I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be a fun experience.
Oh yeah, I
Absolutely.
like
So
these.
alrighty, folks. So without further ado, this is the Panel Bros top 10 movies of 2025. We are going
Yeah.
to start with honorable mentions. So we did something a little bit different this year,
Mhm.
and we're going to do 5 honorable mentions apiece, and they're actually going to be ranked. So we're doing 15 through 11 apiece
Mhm.
before we head into the top 10 proper. So I'm going to kick things off here with my number 15 movie, and it is Weapons. So, yeah,
Woo!
here at 15 with Weapons. So, this is just going to be based upon the fact that, well, first of all, it's an original.
Mhm.
So, I got to give love to original movies. And also, just what is her name? Amy Madigan? I believe
Oh,
so. Yes, I think so.
yeah,
Yeah, Amy Madigan, the one particular role in
yeah,
Weapons that stood out. So, great performances. It was. I'll be honest with you. When I saw the trailers for Weapons, I wasn't really excited to go see it, but then just hype started building around it, and it was. Well, the thing is that they didn't show anything in the
yeah.
trailers, and that's what built the intrigue for it. And the horror community, man, you guys are awesome. Big word of
I
mouth.
re I remember when I first saw that trailer, and I was like, "I don't know if I could see this because it was about kids going missing, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know, this might hurt." But like you said, the word of mouth was so strong, and, that was definitely, an experience. So I'm glad it made your list.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Next up, it's a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. It is going to be Fantastic Four: First Steps. So,
Yeah.
um, by the way, so far, both of these movies, Ricardo and I saw together.
Yes, we saw
so,
these together, so
so we'll
yes.
we'll mention to you folks if we saw them together. But um, it was a for the first time a Marvel movie that didn't feel like a Marvel movie. First time in a while, actually.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
great cast, a lot of fun. introduced the Fantastic Four into the MCU. Just had a great time, really emotional, and for the first time in a while, the stakes actually felt high.
Yeah.
My number 13 is another Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, and it is Thunderbolts.
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 Yes, exclamation point. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So,
New Avengers. It's Thunderbolts.
yeah. So, just another one. Just had a fun time. So, this was the first time Ricardo and I had ever seen an MCU movie in the theater together.
Together. Like it just again, that was another situation. And I remember,
Yeah.
I think you said it. You was like, oh my God. He's like, brother, like we're watching an MCU movie at the theater together for like the first time. I was like, yeah, that's never happened. It just never did.
Yeah, it was wild, but big word of mouth. People were
Mhm.
saying there was a lot of drama, and I'll give a shout out. Just a big commentary on mental health.
Yes.
As a mental health advocate, you know that about me. Um, I just really enjoyed it. Shout out to the cast and Florence Pugh, as always.
Yeah,
She
dude.
she
She's
was
great.
she was awesome. She was absolutely awesome in Thunderbolts, and they kind of laid the groundwork for the MCU, like moving forward. That and Fantastic Four, actually, both just
Yeah.
really laid the groundwork for what we're going to see in the MCU moving forward. So, 13 Thunderbolts, 12. Another movie Ricardo and I saw together.
Yes.
This is a horror movie. It is a movie that received a sequel after many years, where you're talking about 28 years later.
Mm,
And, oh man, Danny Boyle,
bro.
director, writer Alex Garland just teamed up again. Wow, what a dramatic movie. I don't want to say too much because I have a feeling Ricardo might mention this movie
Yeah.
as well. But
I'm like, yeah,
uh,
yeah. I'm being
yes,
careful with what movies I comment on. I'm like, hold on,
yeah,
wait a
that's
minute. I gotta
okay.
save some.
That's okay. So, I've been enjoying Jodie Comer for years now. She was the stand-up performance in that movie for me.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man, she was great. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ralph Fiennes, he's always
Mhm.
great. But such a great concept, and uh, it was enjoyable. It was
Yeah.
enjoyable. I won't say too much because I have a
Yeah,
feeling
yeah.
Ricardo may mention this later on. So that was number 12. And lastly, oh boy. So
This is the one that flipped a little bit
yeah,
between 10 and 11. Okay.
yeah, and for the other cinephiles out there, I apologize if this is gonna upset you that
I'm hype. I'm
it's
hype.
not in my top 10. The one that made it in is probably the thing that's gonna upset everybody. But it was a great movie. I don't so sometimes I judge it based
Mhm.
upon how often am I gonna put this on? Or
Okay.
when's the next time I will wanna watch this? So I
Mhm.
recognized it as a great film, well put together story, acting, the whole deal, but not enough to say, "Oh, it's in my top 10." So we are talking about Paul Thomas Anderson and One Battle After Another.
Wow, okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right, I
Yeah,
get it.
so that was my number 10. I said, "Nope, I'm making room. This is gonna be my number 11." So a lot of great performances. Paul Thomas Anderson always brings it. It was pretty entertaining. I'll be honest
Mhm.
with you. Pretty entertaining, action packed, very high stakes. Enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
Enjoyable movie. But sorry, didn't quite make the cut, folks. So
Nah, it's all good.
let's recap here. My honorable mentions at number 15, we have Zach Kreger's Weapons. At number 14, Fantastic Four: First Steps. At number 13, Marvel's Thunderbolts. Number 12, 28 years later, and number 11, One Battle After Another. All right.
Yeah, nice honorable mentions. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. All right, so now we're gonna start with my 5 honorable mentions. We'll start with number 15. And brother, this I didn't think this was going to be on my list. And I'm going through my list of movies, like, okay, I'm looking at my diary. I'm like, all my movies for 2025, and I'm making my list. And I was like, if you would have told me that I would have a film about sharks and Jai Courtney just taking people to the ocean would make this, I'd be like, you're crazy. You're nuts. And somehow Dangerous Animals comes in at number 15. You know me, I'm a horror guy. I love horror. I love thrillers. And you added a shark element to this. And there's one way to get us with good jump scares with it, it's sharks. And the idea that this movie felt small in scale, but was just so different. It was fresh. It's original. We talk about originals all the time. We had this original story where Jai Courtney, who throughout the years seems like Hollywood was pushing him in a certain direction, and it seemed like things just weren't panning out. And I remember watching this movie, and I remember hitting you up being like, dude, Jai Courtney in this movie is crushing it. I'm like, this is what he needs to be doing. It was great. It was a great time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Great thriller. I remember watching it twice in 2 days. I was like, I need to watch this again. So for me at number 15, Dangerous Animals with your boy Jai Courtney and some sharks. Surprising, but it made the list. Number 14 is a good movie named Companion. Now, Companion made my list because I saw a single teaser for this. That was it.
Yeah.
The only thing I saw was a teaser. I didn't see any single trailer for it. I saw a teaser, and I'm going to be doing that as much as I possibly can. And when I saw the movie itself, the movie hit me with such a fun twist, and it wasn't anything like I was expecting. Based on the teaser, I was expecting one thing, and I got something completely different. And it was so fun. It had such great energy, great cast, and it just, when I remember walking away from that movie going, "Oh my god!" Like, I laughed, I got emotional. There's some great drama in it, and it's got some horror thriller elements. And obviously, I take all that home, and I'm like, this is great. I love this movie. So, Companion makes my number 14th slot. Really good time. Honestly, that was a movie that was a movie I wish I saw at the theaters. I really do. I miss
shout out to Sophie Thatcher. She's killing it right now.
Sophie Thatcher was just, you see her here, you see her there. I'm like, dude, Sophie Thatcher's killing it right now.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, she's great.
It was a nice surprise for me. I'll give some love to Companion. I wish they hadn't revealed the twist in the trailer.
I didn't see the trailer, so I had no clue.
They revealed one. There's several twists in the movie, but the big one about her character was in the trailer, and I'm like, oh, come on, guys. You should have saved that for the movie,
See, and that's where marketing comes into play. Like, the only thing I saw was the teaser where he tells her to raise her arm above the fire, and she does it, and she's crying. Right. And, like, he's forcing her, and he's got a weapon, and I'm like, what is this movie? And it's like, it started off like very romantic, and it's like, oh, they love each other to death. And I'm like, oh, what is this movie? And by the time I watched it, I had no idea. So anytime I recommended it to anyone else, I was like, have you seen a trailer? And they're like, no. I'm like, don't watch a trailer. Because of my understanding, based on what you said, that they ruined that one of the many twists in the film, in the trailer, which I think is a big no-no, because that's the reason why the movie made my honorable mentions, because I was not aware of that twist, and it just added so much for the film as a whole. So that movie, thoroughly enjoyed. That is my number 14th, is Companion. My number 13 slot is a movie that's also in your honorable mentions. It is a movie we saw together. It was the first MCU movie we saw together in the theater, and it was oh no, it wasn't. This is the second. We saw the other one, but this was Fantastic Four First Steps. Listen. I was so surprised by this movie in the best way.
Right.
And I think because, throughout the years, Marvel developed a certain formula. So you're kind of like, hey, we kind of know what we're getting. We'll go to the movies. We're getting a Marvel movie. We know what we're getting. And this one felt different, very similar to another movie that came out recently in the MCU. It felt different. We had a strong group of core characters. And I really felt that for the first time in a long time, the movie focused on themes like family. Like, it was such a strongly themed film about family. You couldn't help but feel it. So much so that I was like, wow, like we're watching a Fantastic Four movie, and it's not just about the visual effects. It's not just about the big battles or anything like that. Like, there was this great core element of family, and you felt stakes, as you had mentioned. And I hadn't felt stakes in a while. And just all in all, I was very, very surprised, pleasantly surprised, I should say. And I walked away from that movie going, hey, man, like, that was actually way better than I had anticipated.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm probably gonna buy that, and your boy got it, so I really enjoyed it, and I was very happy that we saw that as a group, because we didn't have to convince the other to go see it. Like, hey man, no, go see it. It was like, no, we saw it together. You, I, and our good friend Anthony Scanish, we all saw it as a trio, and it was a good time. It was a good time. So.
I want to give a shout out to director Matt Shackman. Not too many movies as a film director. He did I believe he was the showrunner on WandaVision.
Okay.
So that's how he got in there. Like little TV here and there, but WandaVision, he was like a big part of that. So, but uh, yeah, I had a great time. Yeah, we had a fun time as a group too.
Dude,
That
yeah,
was a
yeah.
fun night.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the experience makes it even better.
Yeah.
All right, so number 12. This was, I don't want to say it was a depressing watch,
Oh yeah.
but number 12 was brutal. It was emotionally driven. It was raw. I'm going with The Long Walk for my
Mm,
number 12 honorable mention. I remember us watching that movie together. That was another one we saw in the film together,
yeah.
and just having that experience because you and I both knew that were like, okay, what's probably going to drive this movie is the performances because you just
Right.
have people walking.
That's right.
That's it. And I was like, hey man, like, oh man, like we get to go watch some amazing performances. And get this cast of young actors together and just watching them walk and talk. And it was very dark, it was very emotional, but it was such a strong film. And I don't want to give spoilers, so I always try to be careful with spoilers, but like there's these, obviously there's great themes throughout, there's great messaging throughout, and it was very, very sad. And I caught myself like holding back tears a couple times, but
Oh yeah.
it's one of those movies that like hope, you know what I mean? Like even through all that, there's this like hope that you're like clinging to and hanging on to. And I had to give the movie a lot of credit for that. And again, the word of mouth on that one was solid too. Like people were like, nah, man, Long Walk is good. And I was intrigued. And that was a movie that I was looking forward to watching, and I was pleased with it. But again, that's a movie that I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna watch it too many times.
Right.
I don't know if I will. I probably will watch it again just to go through that experience one more time. But yeah, so for me, number 12 is The Long Walk.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Great pick. That was an emotional movie,
It was,
and
man.
once again, just not an original, based on a Stephen King work, but just okay, how are we going to make this interesting, right? And that
Yeah.
was the appeal of it. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And coming in at my number 11, I don't know if you've seen this because we haven't
Mm.
really talked about it. Um, but my number 11 spot is Sisu Road to Revenge.
Mm.
Now, I as much as I am a horror guy, I'm also an action guy too. Like I
Yeah.
love action movies. We grew up in the 80s, in the 90s, peak action movies, right? Where you have these BA characters and you have this finished film where our lead character barely says a word. Like just barely says a word. And the movie focuses so much on visual storytelling over dialogue. And I love that about these movies. And there's this like hyper violence to them that you understand like no, this is so far beyond reality, but you just have so much fun with it. And I really enjoyed the first film a lot. So when they had pitched a second film, I was like, hey, like I don't know what you do after the first film. The first film was awesome. Like I don't know how you up that. And Sisu the Road to Revenge added this incredible emotional journey. Have you seen it? I don't want to say anything too far.
I saw
I don't
the
want to.
first one. I did
Okay, I
not
didn't want to
see.
spoil
I
anything.
did
Okay,
not see this one.
all right. So
No.
I'll be careful with my wording, but there's a very emotional story arc in two
Mm.
that I was not expecting, and it's what's driving our lead character this entire film. And I just remember thinking like, wow, the first movie was so action heavy and action oriented. The second movie is as well, but now I've got this emotional core and it's beautifully acted. I did not expect to get some of these really heartfelt emotional moments from this film, and we got them. So yeah, Sisu was a pleasant surprise. I was so looking forward to it. I try to recommend it to anybody who's a big action junkie person and whatnot. But yeah, so coming at number 11 for me is Sisu Road to Revenge.
All righty. So
Yeah. So if I break down my top 15 to 11, they would rank coming in at number 15, Dangerous Animals. Coming in at number 14, Companion. Number 13, Fantastic Four First Steps. Number 12, The Long Walk. And number 11, Sisu Road to Revenge.
all righty, awesome. All righty, folks. Those were our honorable mentions. So now,
Yeah, now we get into it.
yes, now we have the Panel Bros official top 10 best movies of 2025. I'm gonna kick things off. Number 10 here. So
Ooh, this is the one that flipped. This is the one that flipped.
yeah. So just to remind you folks, because I do a lot of the sharing on here, Ricardo shares his list with me so I can do the
Mhm.
thumbnails and the sharing and such. But Ricardo chooses not to see my
Yeah,
list because
I
he
want to
wants,
be
yes,
surprised.
he wants to be surprised. So just please keep that in mind. We like reminding you every year.
Yeah.
So these are genuine reactions.
Yes. Yes.
Alrighty, so let's go with my number 10.
I'm so hyped. I don't know
Oh
who it is.
yeah.
Oh my god!
It's the housemaid.
Whoa! I never would have thought that, like, when you said there was a movie battling with one battle after another, I'm
Yep.
like, oh man, what is this movie? I'm like, what is he talking about?
It's
I don't know.
Amanda Seyfried and
Okay,
Sydney Sweeney,
okay,
brother.
okay.
You know, we got Leo DiCaprio and
Yo, Benicio
Sean
del Toro
and
and Sean
Sean
Penn.
Penn. Nope.
It's like, no, brother, hold on. Amanda Seyfried, though. Like, it's like, yeah,
I
fair.
mean, well,
She's
Amanda Seyfried's
amazing,
pretty
by the way.
good. Yeah, but
Exactly. Like, I'm
you
like,
know,
hold on, she's amazing. Amanda
yeah,
Seyfried is
but,
amazing.
Yep, the powerhouse of Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried.
That's
Oh
so good.
man,
That's
whoever's
so good.
listening to this is probably going to lose it once
Yeah.
they see us with this. So, alrighty, so
So
I
good.
need to talk about this. So let's get rid
Yeah,
of that.
plead your case. Plead your case. Plead your case.
Okay. So, alrighty. So here's the thing. We love originals. I love them
Yes.
too. But thriller is like a genre that I am drawn to. So I feel like in the 90s there were a lot of really cool thrillers.
Yeah.
And you know, they were either action thrillers or, you know, I'm thinking about like Morgan Freeman, Ashley Judd, you know, Double Jeopardy,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
just like
Along Came a Spider.
yeah,
Like, all
yeah,
that.
those types of movies, you know, and then there's action thrillers, you know, Cape Fear, you like
Yeah.
just thrillers, you know. And now it's just with franchise movies and IP movies, it's just really hard to just get something original anymore, let alone a thriller, you know. So I was hearing a lot about it, and it's cleaning up at the box office.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
the
We
budget
will.
was really low,
Mhm.
and uh it's cleaning up at the box office. So I'm like, all right, let me give this a chance. I ended up streaming it at home. I didn't get a chance to go to the theater to see it, but guys, within the
Yeah.
first like I call it the 15-minute rule. They got me
Mhm.
within the first 15 minutes. I said, "Oh my gosh, this movie is nuts. It's absolutely nuts." And
I'm adding this to my. I gotta watch this movie. I'm
oh
like, hold on, wait a
yeah,
minute, I can add this to my
Amanda
list.
Seyfried just went for it. She is
Mhm.
awesome. Some of her best work, actually.
Nice.
Sydney Sweeney is Sydney Sweeney. You know,
Mhm.
she knows how to bring it when she needs to. We got your boy Brandon Sklenar. Yeah, I don't know how to
Mhm.
pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
He's rallying to play Batman. You know,
Yeah.
he's fine, but just that duo of Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried, just it's thrilling. Yeah,
Good.
it's thrilling. It's super entertaining to the point where I never knew where it was gonna go. I
Yeah.
couldn't figure out them. I'm sitting there thinking, all right, this is where
That's
it's gonna go.
fun, dude. That's
And
fun.
that's the thing. I couldn't figure out where it was going. And I'm just like, man, I think this movie might make my top 10,
Yep,
you know?
and it did, and it did.
And then I was feeling guilty. So I'm like, well, I got to put Paul Thomas Anderson, you
Yeah.
know? And then today it was just like, listen, Anderson, you know you like that movie. You're just
Yes.
embarrassed. You don't want to make it be in your top 10. I'm like, yep. So I
Ain't nothing
switched
wrong
it.
with it.
I switched it.
Nothing wrong
So
with it. It's surprising, but
yes.
nothing
Oh
wrong
yeah.
with it.
Let's put a Fatal Attraction, you know, because
Yeah.
it's erotic thriller, you know, just
Mhm.
over the top. We got some novella vibes too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Big novella vibes. Big novella vibes. So there we go. The housemaid.
What a number 10,
Number
baby.
10. Yeah. So
I'm adding it. I'm going to watch that immediately.
yeah, absolutely. Please do. So we got Paul Feige.
Mhm.
He's known for a lot of comedy, but he's been doing thrillers in recent years. So let's just go back. So he did The Housemaid. He did A Simple Favor and Another Simple Favor. So the sequel, and then we move back and it's more comedy. He did Ghostbusters 2016, Answer the Call.
Okay.
He did Spy, The Heat. he got his breakout for Bridesmaids.
Yes, that was.
So
I remember that
yeah,
being huge for
he
him.
got his breakout for Bridesmaids. So it looks like he's leaning more towards thrillers now. So, oh, by the way, there was a little comedy in it too.
Oh
There's
yeah,
a there was a
if Paul's doing it, I can absolutely see
Yeah,
some
it's a little bit
comedy.
of comedy in it too. So there we go, guys. My number 10 is The Housemaid.
Yeah, the
Not
housemaid.
not sorry.
Don't be ashamed, brother. Don't be ashamed.
Yeah.
I've got some here. People are like, really? So yeah, so it's perfectly fine.
Alrighty.
Okay. So all right. So for my number 10, we're jumping right back into the horror genre. Surprise, surprise to no one. We are going with the film Bring Her Back. Now,
So there we
for
go.
anyone who knows me, good God, what a
Yep.
thumbnail.
Yep.
I remember when this trailer first dropped, and I was like, oh my God, is this going to be too much for me to handle? I was like, this, because I'm like, oh, I love horror movies. I'm like, oh God. But anybody who knows me knows that I followed Raka Raka for a long time, the Philippou brothers, Danny and Michael.
Yeah.
I loved watching those guys on YouTube, just being YouTubers, making content for, the love of the game and just showing people what they could do. And I've always seen those guys as super talented. Man, if these guys just got an opportunity. So when they may talk to me, and the word of mouth was so good, I was blown away by it. That also was a film that I loved. Bring Her Back was no different in the sense that I walked away thoroughly enjoying it, but for different reasons. This one was a lot heavier than Talk to Me, and I remember people saying that, like, hey man, like, I remember someone telling me, like, hey, when you go see this, just be prepared to be like down when you're done. And I was like, oh, and like sometimes that could be a bummer of an experience, but they did such a good job. Again, they made something original. We always talk about putting something original. They made something I hadn't seen before, and that was unique. And then you had someone like Sally Hawkins in this movie,
Yeah.
was so good. She was just so good in this film. And performance wise, she does something really special along with the writing from the Philippou brothers, where you can have a character that is so easily to dislike, so easy
Oh
to hate,
yeah.
so easy. And I found myself at the end of the movie not justifying what she did, but having an understanding of why she did it, but not approving of it, not saying, oh, but it was just different emotion that I wasn't expecting to feel. And I remember walking away from the movie having a downer, but not a downer as go, oh, that movie bummed me out, I can't believe it, but more in the sense of like how emotionally driven it was in those final few moments. And again, there are certain things that I would love to say, but I feel that if anyone hasn't seen it, to watch it. I don't want to give anything away,
Mm.
but I just remember feeling so emotional at the end, especially and like as a parent, like I couldn't believe that like I was feeling this way about the Sally Hawkins character Laura. Like I was just like, I should hate her. I should hate her.
Yeah.
But the way they wrote their story, by the end, I was crying for her. And that's not easy to do. Again, at no point do I go, well, yeah, I would do the same thing. No, but it was just something that I did not expect to feel. And it's a major credit to the Philippou brothers for being really talented writers and knowing, sometimes less is more. Like they gave us just enough. They didn't explain everything. They didn't hold our hand. They were kind of like, hey, like we're going to give you just enough and we'll allow you to put the pieces together. And we always talk about like great filmmakers that do that. One thing that I personally dislike is when a director doesn't believe I have the confidence to figure things out and they have to hold your hand. You got way too much exposition. The Philippou brothers in Talk to Me and as well in Bring Her Back, they make sure to give you just enough so it doesn't feel like they're beating you over the head with themes or knowledge or anything like that. And I remember just walking away from this movie just completely heartbroken and shattered, and I wasn't expecting that. Again, anytime I can walk into a movie and feel or get something I'm not expecting, that's a major benefit. Because you walk into a movie, you think right? You think like, oh, it's a horror movie, maybe it's going to be about possession, or maybe it's this, maybe it's that. We didn't know. And walking out of that movie, I was like, I did not expect that at all to be as emotional I am, and I had to give them all the points in the world for it. So for me, my number 10 is Bring Her Back.
Alrighty. Shout out to Raka Raka. I know
Yeah,
you
dude, I love
worked for
Raka
them,
Raka.
and you enjoyed Talk to Me a few years ago when that came
Yeah,
out
dude,
too. So
love Talk to Me.
alrighty. So moving on, folks. This is our number 9. And I'm going to go with my number 9. Let's see here. Here is my number 9. It is Caught
Ooh,
Stealing. Yes, Caught Stealing.
good movie, bro.
Yeah, it
Good
was.
movie.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna talk about Darren Aronofsky in a second here.
Mhm,
Um, so once again, we have an original movie.
mhm.
We have an original movie, and just so entertaining. And it is grounded by um, just Austin Butler in the lead. He's so good in this movie.
Very
He's
good.
so charismatic. This guy's a star. He is a
Absolutely.
he is a star, and it doesn't work without him. I read online, or I've seen reviews where it was like a Guy Ritchie movie that
Yeah.
wasn't directed by Guy Ritchie,
Richie.
and so if you're a fan of like Snatch,
Mhm.
um, just that era of Guy Ritchie movies, with the timelines and the cuts and the comedy, then this is a movie for you. Pretty cool cast here. We have Regina King, we have Zoe Kravitz, uh, Matt Smith. I'm not going to say the other actors because they're not recognizable. You might have to
Yeah,
look at
dude, they're not, like, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah. There's a
Like,
couple
I
actors.
yeah, yeah. When I saw the
Yeah,
trailer, I was like, "That's who? That's who?"
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, we have Darren Aronofsky, who's kind of moved off into drama,
Mhm.
as of late. Um, let's see here. What did he do? He did The Whale. That was his
Oh, yeah.
last movie. And then he had Mother, mind-bending movie. He did Noah, Black Swan, The Wrestler. So it's been mostly
Yeah.
mind bending for over the years, but this was like kind of like more along the lines of The Wrestler, just more so like,
Mhm.
well, no, The Wrestler was a drama. So
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Nope, let me take that back. This is unlike anything in his filmography.
Yeah, yeah, it's different. Like, if you told me anybody else, like, if you told me Darren, like, if I watched the movie first without knowing who the director was, I'd be like, "Oh, Darren Aronofsky did that one?
Yeah.
Okay, okay."
Yeah. If you didn't tell anybody who directed this, you would have thought Guy Ritchie directed it.
Yeah, because like, I can absolutely see it. It absolutely does feel like it could be a Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah, absolutely. So number 9, Caught Stealing. Had a good
Bro,
time. If once again, I thought I knew where it was going,
yep.
and I didn't know where it was gonna go, so super entertaining, so
Yeah,
and
that is a great film, and I thoroughly enjoyed that one too, and that was another one where I expected one type of movie and got something different. Like, I thought it was gonna be more I was like, "Oh, this gonna be like an over the top ridiculous 90s comedy
right,
with some action." It was like, "Oh, no, brother, you're in for a ride."
right, and,
So, yeah.
we're not gonna get into it too much, but if you could do a little research on, the film community is kind of upset with Darren Aronofsky right now,
Oh, yeah.
and, we're not gonna get into it because we wanna keep things lighthearted here,
Mhm.
but, it's the film community is not too happy with Aronofsky
"I'll
right now.
fight you, Darren. I'll fight
I
you."
I think it's an experiment. I don't
Mhm.
think it's legit. I think it's an experiment to see where things go,
Okay.
and, he's definitely challenged us over the years with his
Yeah.
movies. A lot of his movies are not an easy watch, they're very challenging,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna give the guy benefit of the doubt, but we shall see. We shall
Yeah,
see.
we'll
So,
see.
alright, let me get your thumbnail ready, sir.
All right. And now for my number 9, this was another one that I was able to catch at the theater, and I had so much fun with this one. There were moments in this theater where I was laughing from sheer joy, not because I saw something funny, but just absolute joy. And
Alright.
I was like, I can't believe they're doing this. It was so much fun. Coming in at number 9 for me is Ballerina
Yeah.
with Ana de Armas, man. Look, you mean to tell me you're putting me back in the John Wick universe, that I'm going to be able to see John Wick, because this happens between part 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, and we get to have him in the shadows, but we got this new Ana de Armas character doing all this BA stuff and great fights and great stunt work. I was like, sign me up, buddy. But man, I remember talking to my friends about this, talking to you, said, man, when this movie decides to hit the gas, it doesn't let up. Like, it's just go, 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 go. And it was so entertaining and so fun, and there's a little bit, not much. There's a little bit more of a comedic element to this in a couple scenes where they're just using anything they can as weapons, and it's so entertaining. And I remember at the end of this film, in the final act, they use a weapon, and I was like, brother, I have never seen this particular weapon used in such a way in film before. It was so engaging and entertaining that I immediately was like, I cannot wait for the bonus
Oh yeah.
featurette because I'm going to need all the behind the scenes on how they did this because it was unreal and it was real. You know what I mean? Like it's real. What they are using is real.
Yeah.
This wasn't a CGI effect, and that's what blew me away. And that's what's so great about the John Wick films in general, is that a lot of things are great stunt work, great practicality, and you're just in shock and awe what people can do. So at the final act of this movie, seeing that, I was just blown away, and it showcased to me that the John Wick universe has so much life in it. You know, if you decided you wanted to do more spin-offs, you could. If you did it in the vein of, you know, what Ballerina did, it's like, hey, we're in the same world, but we're going to focus on new characters. The world in itself is so intriguing. It's so interesting. And I just absolutely adored it. You know what I mean? And come on, man, like we get to see our boy Keanu back. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Keanu's back as John Wick, and they made him the Baba Yaga in this one. Like he's in the shadows, he's in for a moment, then he's gone. And I was like, bro, this is so cool. And they made sure they're like, well, guys, don't worry. If John Wick is back, we're gonna make sure you get some exciting stuff from John. And we absolutely do. And it was awesome. So it excited me for more. I remember when it ended, I was like, please make more. I said, we can do a ballerina too. We can do another character. We can do a spin-off of another character from the other movies. I'm like, just keep this universe alive because it is so much fun. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. So if you're keeping track, we have 4 John Wick movies and 1 ballerina movie.
Mhm.
So 5 movies in the John Wick universe. You have the Continental TV show. Like,
Yeah.
you know, this universe, it has the potential to continue going.
I
And
want it.
so much fun. So
I
much fun.
want it.
I went to the movies to see Ballerina as well.
Mhm.
So good. Enjoyed it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's my number 9, ballerina.
Alrighty. There we go. Alrighty. We are here with my number 8. Let's get the screen share going. The Long Walk.
Ooh, the long walk, baby. Yeah, I'm glad it made it.
Alrighty.
I'm glad it made it. I'm glad it
Oh
made it.
yeah. So, um, oh man. So Ricardo and I saw this in the movie theater together,
Mhm.
and the thing that drew us was just it was so unique.
Yeah.
And I hit Ricardo up. I said, "Hey, did you want to go see this?" He's like, "Yeah, I do." You know, so
Yeah.
let's go to catch it.
Yeah.
So we did. This was directed by Francis Lawrence. He either directed or was a part of the team on almost all of the Hunger Games movies. He did a lot of the
Mhm.
Hunger Games movies and even the prequels as well. So he directed it. This was based on Stephen King, one of his
Yeah.
early works, but it's the performances that
Yeah.
make the long walk. You're seeing all these young men here, you know, in this movie here, and each one of them has a story, and that's what ends up making the movie special because everyone has an individual story and why they're doing this here. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson, the 2 co-leads.
Dude.
The 2 co-leads. Yeah, just so emotional, you know, what they brought to those roles, and just as you see them get to know each other throughout the movie and share that bond. It was great. Great cast with all these young men just giving some amazing performances. This is a sad movie. This
Very
is
sad, dude.
it's such a
Very
sad
sad.
movie. Yeah, there were some tears. There was absolutely some tears in a couple parts because just how emotional. And for me, that's another thing. Like if you can move me, as you would put it, Ricardo, if you
Mhm.
move me, more than likely, it's probably going to make my top 10. And the movie moved me. It really
Yeah.
did. I had a great time. I had a great time seeing it with you. And there's
Yeah.
a few times I was just like looking, I'm like, man, are you seeing this? Like these,
Yeah, look, there was a couple moments where it's like, "Oh my god, dude."
this is, oh my goodness, just so emotional. But yeah, solid film. Shout out to David Johnson. He was in
Yeah,
Alien
man.
Romulus a few
That
years
guy.
ago, and we enjoyed him in that. And it's like, okay, so now he's showing some range. Like, yeah, solid movie, solid performances. Uh, number 8, The Long Walk.
Yeah, dude. David Johnson is a star. Him and Cooper Hoffman both did great. But I remember like you, like I recognized David Johnson from Alien. And I'm like, oh man, like this guy's gonna blow up. and I remember there's a line in the film, and forgive me if I don't nail it
Mhm.
perfectly, but there's a moment where a character is killed off, and
Mhm.
you understand that we're going to experience this throughout the movie. Like we know this is going to happen over and over and over
Right.
during this long walk until there's only one person left. And one of the characters goes, "Oh, I'm hoping that after a while, like I was hoping that after a while I'd get used to that used to that gunshot sound." And you have one of the other characters go, "That's what I'm afraid of." And it's kind of like, as a viewer, it's the same feeling. We're watching
Mm.
this movie, and we know we're gonna watch these characters one by one drop, and we're kind of like, hey, it's gonna be rough, but maybe after a while we'll get used to it. And it's like, oh no, we don't want to get used to it. We don't want to ever lose that sense of what makes us who we are, that humanity. And it's just a really, really sad movie. Great performances though, so I'm very, very grateful that it made your list because that movie is great.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right. Let's get your screen share ready.
we are at my number 8. My number 8 was a film that I wish I saw in the theater. It just didn't happen. But when I watched it at home, I was very happy with it. Again, there was a lot of good word of mouth, and I think that when it comes to certain actors, they pick certain roles, and you're like, hey, you expect this to be a good movie. You know what I mean? So my number 8 is One Battle After Another. Leonardo DiCaprio, baby, holding it down with Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn. You know what I mean? Tiana Taylor, director Paul Thomas Anderson. Just you got all these great working pieces, and I was not familiar with Tiana Taylor before this film, and
Right.
watching her, she's electric, dude. Like as soon as you see her on screen, she's got amazing presence, and she's on there with Leonardo DiCaprio. She's on there with Sean Penn. These are strong actors, and she's just crushing it. But this was one of those movies that I also enjoyed because of something you said earlier, where with a lot of these films, it's like I had no idea where this movie was going to go. I didn't
Right.
know. Like I was like, hey, like where is this going to go? Is this movie going to take a hard left turn? Is this character going to survive? Is this character like as the plot was going? I was like, oh, where are we going? Like, oh, wait, okay, so this happened. So Sean Penn's character, Lockjaw does this with Tiana Taylor's character, and now this is a result, and this and that, and this is happening, blah, blah. And it was super funny at times.
Yeah.
Dude, Benicio del Toro in this movie is so effortlessly funny and just so on the ball with his choices. And I just couldn't help with some of his delivery, and no wonder this guy's nominated. You know what I mean, for like best sporting and whatnot. Like Benicio's so good in it. Leonardo's great, but Leonardo has always been great, and it's nothing that we haven't seen from DiCaprio in terms of performance because he's always been a terrific actor and whatnot. But like the movie was just so. When I say off the wall, I don't mean like zany or silly. It's just that like I had no idea where the story was going, and it's brilliantly acted. They're amazing. There's certain shots in this movie, cinematography wise, that I was like, oh my God, what a great choice. There's quite a few of them throughout the film. And again, by the end, up to the final moment, I wasn't sure where the movie was going to go. And obviously, the subject matter of the film is also interesting and leaning into that. And it talks about politics and whatnot. And, you know, the nation, who is it protecting, who is it not? Like there's all these things wrapped up into this movie, and it's a great time. So for me, my number 8 is One Battle After Another.
Alrighty. So now we can talk about it a little bit. So 12 Oscar nominations. Let's go through them.
Oh
It's a lot.
yeah.
So we
Hmm.
have Best Sound, Best Production Design, Best Original Score, Best Film Editing, Best Cinematography,
Dude.
Best Casting,
Yeah.
Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Supporting Actress, Tiana Taylor. 2 Best Supporting Actors. We have Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn. We have Best Actor, Leonardo DiCaprio. Best Director, Paul Thomas Anderson. And Best Picture as well. So
Yeah.
lots of nominations. People are saying this has a shot to take quite a few Oscars,
Mhm.
possibly even Best Picture. We shall see what
Yeah.
happens there.
Be
We
a tough
shall
one.
see. But when you're dealing with Paul Thomas Anderson, um, it's going to be an experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's known for just these epic movies, and just with his unique flair. And so I'm gonna put it out there. I saw people saying, "Oh, best movie of the decade, one of the best
Oh,
movies of all time." There's that
that's a
phrase,
little high. That's a little high. That's a little
yeah,
high. That's a
of
little high.
all time. So I said,
A little
"Okay,
high.
well, I guess I got to see it," you know.
Mhm.
So, um, I did not feel that way, but I felt good enough to at least mention it, obviously.
Yes.
Great film, great performances. Benicio del Toro, man, just after all these years, just still
Yeah.
bringing it. You know,
He's
he,
killing it,
he
dude.
he's not mentioned with these A-list actors like Leonardo DiCaprio or Sean Penn, you know, but he's just so good. I've enjoyed his energy no matter what role he's in over the years. Phenomenal character actor. There we go. That's
Yes,
a good
dude.
word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great character actor. So, shout out to Paul Thomas Anderson and One Battle After Another.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
baby.
Okay, so let's get this screen share going. This is my number 7 movie.
I'm always excited for the reveal. I'm like, who is it?
Yeah. Yeah, so let's do this reveal here. Marty Supreme.
Okay. Okay.
Marty Supreme. We got your boy, the Lisan Al Gaib. We got
Lisa
Timothy.
Al Gaib. Lisa Al
Yeah,
Gaib.
yes, we got Timothy Chalamet. So, alrighty. Um, I went to see this. It was like Christmas time, and there was just a lot of hype surrounding this movie. People were saying, "Oh my gosh, you know, you're thinking it's about ping pong. It's you know,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's okay.
yeah, it's so exciting," and everyone's just like, "Really?" You know? Well, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
um, yeah, a lot of great performances. So, uh, we got so the Safdie brothers kind of are doing their own thing now. They're no longer
Yeah.
together. So
Yeah.
this was directed by Josh Safdie. Let me take a look here. We have 9 Oscar nominations for Marty Supreme. Yeah, 9. So we have Best Costume Design, Best Editing, Best Production Design, Best Cinematography, Best Casting, Best Original Screenplay. We have Best Actor for Timothy Chalamet. We have Best Director, Josh Safdie, and Best Picture overall. Um, the Best Actor is stacked this year, and people are saying this might be Timothy Chalamet's year. Finally, we shall see. If anything, this is the one that could probably get him
Mhm.
his statue. He was phenomenal. He was amazing as the lead in this movie. I want to give a shout out to the rest of the cast as well. But if I could tell anybody anything about this movie, is that it's a drama. It's
Yeah.
definitely a drama. It's got some comedy aspects, definitely, and it definitely has that Safdie brothers feel to it, where you're just anxiety is the right word
Yeah.
while you're watching the movie. So uncut gems, you know.
Yeah, dude.
So
Like they love that feel.
yeah, definitely that feel. Want to give a shout out to Odessa Azion. She did a great job. Also, Gwyneth Paltrow, always solid. It's just solid movie. Solid movie. Just surprising. That's another
Mhm.
word I would say. Just surprising. But the reason to watch this film is Timothy Chalamet's performance. He's great. So, disclaimer: every character in this movie is unlikable.
Yeah. I've heard
These are
this. I've heard this from
they
other
are
people who have seen it.
not likable, and that's turned a lot of people off. So I just want to
Yes.
just let you know they're very unlikable, but the movie in itself, it drew me in with the story,
Mhm.
and I can't give away too much, but it's definitely more than just this professional ping pong player. It's the antics and the
Yeah.
trouble that he gets himself into. So let's just put that out there.
Yeah, I didn't get to catch that. I missed that one, but it is on my list. I will make sure to watch it before the Oscars so I can be caught up on all the nominations and be like,
Absolutely.
okay, now I understand. But I did hear what you said. Like, there are some people that were like, oh man, I just didn't like the characters.
Yeah.
Like, verbatim, I've heard someone who has seen it be like, oh man, it's not that it's a bad movie. It's like, I just didn't like the characters. So I do feel like if you know that going in, it probably helps the viewing experience, especially now that you give you a warning, like, hey man, like, just fair warning, you may not like these characters, but the story is engaging, and that's good enough. You know what I mean? So good on that. All right. So we are at my number 7. My number 7, brother. My number 7 got me so excited for the future. So excited for the future
Right.
of these films and everything else. Coming in at my number 7 is Predator, Killer of Killers. Brother,
Woo!
let me tell you something.
Oh, yeah.
I listen, when Prey came out and we were all blown away by Prey, and they were like, "Yeah, we're doing a new Predator film, but it's going to be animated and it's going to be on Hulu and it's going to," and I was like, "What?" I was like, Wait a minute. Like Prey was why are we wait Prey was so good. Let's get a theatrical release. Let's go live action. Why are we going animated? Not that animation is any less of stellar work, but it was just like, oh, like I felt like we were going in one direction, we went another, and then they announced, oh yeah, it's going to be somewhat of an anthology, and I'm like, okay, well that's interesting, that's intriguing enough. And they're like, we're going to go through the different time periods, and I'm like, oh, that's all we've been asking for the longest time. Many of us have been like, hey, go through different time periods. Let's see a samurai or let's see a Ronin, let's go here, let's go here, let's go there, you know? So when they said, oh, it's an anthology, we're going to do that, I was kind of, again, not bummed out, but I was like, oh, wait, so we're not going to have like a singular story. It's going to be like 3 short stories. And I was like, all right, like, we'll see. And then you watch it. And then Dan Trachtenberg was like, oh, don't you worry. You got this anthology feel, but all of these stories are going to connect. They're all going to come through. And it was so awesome. I got chills and goosebumps when this movie ended. And I remember hitting you up, just being like, this is the greatest thing I've seen in a while. I remember saying, I've never been so energized to see a universe expand. I
Right.
was I was so in. I was like, give I remember being like, give Dan all the keys to the kingdom. Like
Right.
Prey was already great. Prey was fantastic. And then when he dropped Predator, Killer of Killers, I remember being like, give him the keys. I don't care how much he wants. You pay him everything. You pay him everything, because if this is what we have to look forward to, we are in the best of hands. This is coming from a guy who clearly cares about the source material as a fan and as a creator, as a director, as a writer. Like all that mixed up into one is an amazing combination, right? Sometimes you get one or the other. You get a great director that probably isn't a big fan of source material, like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And Dan was like, no, no, no. What made the movies great? What made Predator movies great? What makes Predator great for me as a fan? I'm going to focus on that. We're going to utilize it. And each story was so different yet similar for all the right reasons. We got to see different types of Predator, which has always been great when it comes to the Alja. Like we get to see different interpretations of these stories and these characters and like their own personal stories, and we're rooting for them. And again, by the end of that movie, like I wanted to yell into a pillow, man. I was just like, this is incredible. And then, we get the reveal at the end, where you get to see these characters that we haven't seen in a very long time. And I was like, I can't believe Dan did that. I can't believe it. I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it, because if you haven't seen it by now, I feel bad for you. This is gonna be the only movie that I spoil on here, because it's that good. But at the end of the movie, when we get to see Arnold Schwarzenegger, when we get to see Danny Glover, when we get to see them in animated form, I was like, take all my money. I was like, take all my money. Whatever you need, I don't care. Because for how many years have people always dreamt about, oh, what would it be like to get Dutch back? Like, what would it be like? And
Yeah.
as time has gone on, we're like, hey man, that window is closing. And it got to the point where like, hey man, that window is shut. And then Dan Trachtenberg was like, baby, animation. And I was
Yeah.
like, please. So this, without a shadow of a doubt, was going to make my top 10. I'm so excited. I haven't been this excited for like the Predator franchise in many, many
Oh, yeah.
years. And Prey made the list the last time we talked about it. Killer of Killers on the list now. Just what an amazing time. So my number 7 is Predator, Killer of Killers.
Yeah, great pick. So we did a breakdown for Prey, and that's when we got excited to see what Dan Trachtenberg will do moving
My
forward for this
God.
franchise, and he absolutely delivered with Killer of Killers. Um,
I'm
to
hyped
touch,
now.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's
Gosh, I'm
exciting.
hyped now.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, and the thing is, when we saw Prey, it was like, okay, let's see what happens when the Predator goes
Yeah.
through these different eras and timelines, and that's what he
Mhm.
did for this. And he did it, in the animated form, straight to Hulu. It was awesome. Great
It was
experience.
great, dude.
I had
So
a
good.
great time too. I talked to you many times.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, about Killer of Killers, and it's violent, it's fun, it's action packed, it's Predator. Oh, it's so
Yeah,
good.
dude. It was so
Great.
good. I'm gonna watch it again. It's so good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, next up, it is number 6. So we are going with my number 6. Here we go. We're going up, up, up. Gonna be golden.
Oh,
Yes. Gonna be
amazing,
golden. Oh
amazing,
yes.
amazing,
So,
amazing,
oh man.
amazing. I'm disappointed with myself. Amazing.
It's okay. It's okay. So, we are talking about K-pop Demon Hunters, baby. So,
Yes.
this movie took the world by storm.
Literally, literally by
Took
storm.
the world by storm. So, there was not too much promotion for this.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, yeah.
It just all of a sudden released, and then people just started watching it and telling their friends to watch it,
Yep.
and then watching it and telling their friends to watch it. And then before you know it, it ends up, number one on Netflix for the weekend, number one on Netflix for the week, and then number one, and then number one, and just kept going, going, going. And now, not it ended up being the most watched Netflix animated movie
Yeah,
of all time.
all time, dude.
And then it ended up being the best Netflix movie of all time.
Yep.
No other Netflix movie.
Unreal, dude.
We're talking about obviously families with kids and stuff like that,
Yeah, yeah,
but adults too, you know.
yeah.
So the I want to give a shout out to the team. They did such a great job. So they had voice actors playing
Mhm.
the members of Huntrix, and then they had real life singers playing the singing voices for Huntrix. So I'm gonna give a shout out to the Oscars. We have Best Original Song, we have Best Animated Feature, and those are the 2 Oscars. EJ, who plays
Mhm.
Rumi, she wrote Golden. She co-wrote
Yeah,
it, and she's already won a Grammy for it and a Golden
good,
Globe.
good.
And now she might win an Oscar for Best Original Song for co-writing Golden. And the other singers are Audrey and Rayami. They're great too, guys. If you've seen the movie, please search these women on YouTube to see their live performances. They're so entertaining.
Yep.
There's talks about them touring because of how
Dude,
big
I
this
want it.
got,
I
you
want it.
know. And you know, if we ever do a breakdown of the movie, we can talk about EJ and her story.
Yes.
Like she was looked like she was too old to be a
They told
K-pop
her she was
star.
too old to be a K-pop star, dude.
Ridiculous. Yeah. So
Unbelievable.
she ended up landing this gig, and she got a chance to co-write the headlining song of the entire movie. That one was on the charts too. You put it on the radio, it's like, oh wow,
Mhm.
this is really catchy. Yeah, it's in the Netflix animated movie.
Yep.
you know, um, Such a great movie. Just entertaining, fun, funny. Um, I love the fact that it's Asian, and
Yeah,
Asian
dude.
culture. Just a lot of love to Asian culture there. So don't want to talk too much. Just loved it. K-pop Demon Hunters, so much
It
fun.
it's so good, and, let me tell you, as a girl dad, this house was K-pop Demon Hunters for the longest time.
Oh yeah,
They had it on loop. They got the T-shirts, they got the toys, they got microphones, they got, we bought them, tattoo markers so they could write the demon symbols on their
oh
skin,
yeah, yeah.
dude, like, they were in it. They would sing it in the car,
Yep.
and it was so awesome, and it was so great that, like, I would hear Golden on the radio,
Yeah.
and I'm just reminded of how big this movie was, and like you said, if we do a breakdown on the movie, we can talk about all those things, that happened with these performers, and it's just such a beautiful thing to see, and, like, watching them kinda, like, explode in the world is such a beautiful thing, especially like you said, like, we're talking about Asian culture and just being able to explore, and in an animated film exploring that world as well and introducing that world to people. And like even with the choices that they make with their animation style, which is very similar to just anime, not traditional American cartoon. And it's like they're getting to see this new form of animation that they may not be used to. And it was just an amazing thing, dude. K-pop Demon Hunter was so good. And like you didn't need to watch this movie as a parent. You didn't need to have kids. This was just a good movie. It wasn't a movie that you're like, oh man, my kids love this movie. It's great for me to have in the background. It's easy to watch. No, this was a very, very, very well made movie. And I was just so happy that it blew up like it did. Being, like you said, the most watched Netflix movie ever is such a win. And I'm so happy. And I hope we get more. Like you said, you mentioned a tour. And I was like, brother, I would love a tour. Like, give me something. But I'm so happy that this made the list because it is such a good one.
Absolutely.
All right. So now we are at my number 6. So I'm gonna wait for you to drop the thumbnail before I
Sure.
say the title.
Let's do
So
it.
again, this movie surprised me. Was not what
Yeah.
I was expecting in the best way. So whenever you ready, you drop that thumbnail
Let's
so people
go.
get the image reveal. My number 6 is 28 years later.
All right.
Listen, dude, listen. This movie made me cry.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I sobbed, and this was not what I was expecting. After watching before I went to go see this, I watched 28 Days Later. I watched 28, and then I watched the 28 weeks later.
Mhm.
And going back on those films and watching and getting like that intensity. Like those movies were very intense, very violent, very intense, anxiety filled, and just
Mm.
very chaotic. And when they brought this film back 28 years later, I'm like, oh my God, I can only imagine what this world is going to be like now. And the movie does have some of that in it, but again, we get a lot of character work and we get a lot of story driven performances. And you get Jodie Comer in here, dude, just given such a wonderful, tragic performance. And you got Ralph Fiennes, who's always amazing.
Oh yeah.
And I remember watching the trailer for this movie and thinking, oh, Ralph Fiennes is clearly going to be this bad guy, villainous character, this psychopath, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because the world is going to show us that these people exist, that they're dealing with this infection, but you're going to have people that fall off the deep end in the worst way. And what I got was something extremely deep,
Oh yeah.
emotional, therapeutic. And I remember seeing images online of the Bone Temple online and going like, "Oh God, that place is scary. That's going to be terrifying," and it ends up being so beautiful. And I just remember thinking this was not what I was expecting from this franchise at this point in the game. After being gone for so long, I expected them to come out guns ablazing to get people back into this raw, exciting, nonstop, terrifying. And while it does have those elements in it, it really focused on like this emotional beat that I wasn't expecting. And I give it all the credit in the world for doing so. And it started introducing things that I
Right.
did not see. Like, listen, man, we've seen Zack Snyder, Dawn of the Dead remake, introduce a baby. We have seen Army of the Dead introduce the idea of offspring, but I have never seen what we saw in 28 years later during that pregnancy scene in
Right.
itself.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're actually seeing something happen that I have not seen. And it started opening up opportunities and
Yeah.
and ideas. And the Samson character started to get explored in this movie. And we'll talk about the sequel later because I can't wait.
That's right.
But like it was so engaging on a different level. And I felt like, wow, we had a movie from 28 days later to this where it became far more intellectual than I ever thought it was going to be. And I got to give them all the credit for that, for director Danny Boyle to come back and do something as different as this and still nail it. I'm a huge zombie fan, as everyone knows. I like that genre. And I know that these aren't technically zombies, but they fall into that genre category by default. He found a way to remain fresh in the genre, and that's hard to do. So again, coming in for me at my number 6 is 28 years later, baby.
Oh yeah. So Shout out to Danny Boyle, just for coming back. And also Alex Garland. He's a great
Yeah.
writer.
Yeah.
Alex Garland is a great writer. He's hit or miss for me when it comes to directing.
Mhm.
But as a writer, I think he's pretty solid. He's great. And yeah, we'll get to it later. Talk about 20 years later, The Bone Temple.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes around to it, I think both these movies warrant a breakdown,
Oh, absolutely.
just because of
Absolutely.
what they meant to the quote unquote zombie genre. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I was like
and I feel like calling them zombie movies are a
yeah,
disservice
yeah,
because
that's
of
why I'm like,
what
they
they
kinda just
explore. Yeah,
fit in by default, because
right.
it's like, oh, like it's an infection movie or this and that. I'm like, yeah, but they're not zombies. So because they're not technically zombies, it allows them to play with it a lot, and I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. Alrighty, so folks, we are now in the top 5. Here
Yeah,
we
we're here.
go.
We're here.
Yes, and let me share with you my number 5. Okay.
Ooh, ballerina. Yes, baby. I'm glad it made our top
Ballerina,
10. It
yes.
made our top 10 together. I'm very happy about that.
Yes, yes. Um, I am a big fan of the John Wick franchise. I
Oh
love
yeah.
John Wick, and I
Oh yeah.
love the John Wick movies. Um, obviously, we have Ana de Armas in the lead. We've
Mm,
got Keanu back as John Wick. It's a prequel to the John
mhm.
Wick. Well, not really a prequel slash sidequel. Just
Yeah. It's like
hap-
it's like DLC between 3 and 4,
yeah, yeah. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, like
Um, so, uh, shout out to Chad Stahelski. He's directed all the John Wick movies. He worked on this as a producer, but then we had Len Wiseman on this movie. So, if his name sounds familiar, he's worked on every Underworld movie.
yeah.
So that's who Len Wiseman is. But glad to have Chad Stahelski be a part of the process. Um, oh, it was great. It was
It was
great,
so good. It was so
and
good.
Ana de Armas, potential action star. Okay,
Didn't see it coming. I was
right?
like, "Okay." You know what I mean? Like, she's beautiful, she's a bombshell, she's a great actor. You just don't envision that. And then
Yeah.
when you see it, you're like, "Oh my god, she's incredible."
Yeah, exactly. So the way they use the weapons, just pretty interesting. Just and then with John Wick, just anything can be a weapon,
Mhm.
and just the fight choreography, the gun choreography, and
Oh,
I will not give it away. There are certain things that they use. There's one,
dude.
um, I believe it's called a oneer, where you see it,
Mhm.
the one shot. So I'm like, I don't want to give it away, but it's
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
so good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, a lot of action, and, there's a suspension of disbelief, absolutely. There's
Mhm.
a big suspension of disbelief when you're watching the movie sometimes, but just once again, just continuing that momentum, with the John Wick movies, just you're gonna get some great fight sequences, you're gonna get some great action sequences, and you're gonna get just in your face, it's a John Wick movie, it's a
Yes.
John Wick movie, and like you said, "Hey, let's see where this is gonna go."
Yeah.
Let's see where this is gonna go. We don't have to keep coming back to Keanu, but we can let Anna now take her,
Mhm.
do her thing. So, number 5, Ballerina,
So
from the world of John Wick.
bro, so good. Again, if y'all wanna do more with Anna, do it. If you wanna go with other characters, do it. I'm game. So I'm glad it made both our lists because I think it deserved it. It's so good. All right. So now we are at my number 5.
Oh, yeah.
Number 5 was a great time at the theater, man, an absolute great time.
We saw it
So when
together.
yeah, we
Yeah.
saw it together, baby, and they're oh my god. So you dropped that thumbnail, you let people know before I say the title.
All right.
My number 5 coming in hot, baby. Number 5 is Weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Weapons was was another movie that when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, man," like, I didn't wanna see anything past the first teaser. I didn't wanna see anything else because I remember they were like, "Hey, like, this was the movie that, like, Jordan Peele was fighting for." like all the word had come out that like he wanted his production company to get a hold of this movie, and supposedly based on the word that we had read is that Jordan Peele had fired someone from his management team who was unable to get the rights to help produce the movie, get it out. And I was just like, what is this movie? Like, what
Right.
is this script that everybody was fighting for this? And Warner Brothers essentially won out and was like, hey man, do whatever. Just do it. Just do it. Just the script's incredible. Just do it. Um, but I remember watching Weapons in the theater, and again, getting lost in the best way of like, I don't know where this is going. And the movie has this very interesting structure, which I can understand for some people might be a turnoff because the movie does this thing where it gets going, gets going, gets going, holds, new perspective, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, hold, new perspective. But I enjoy this aspect of discovering what all these people were doing at the exact same time and how their worlds were going to merge and how they were going to come together. And it's just an amazing thrill ride, you know what I mean? And you got amazing performances, and you got just this idea. I get this is another movie that really works if you don't know. So I'm like, oh, I
Right.
don't want to say, because I remember talking to a friend, and she was like, have you seen Weapons? I was like, yeah. And she's like, so what is it? Like, what's the thing? And I was like, oh, I don't want to tell you. Are you gonna go see it? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you. Like, go see it. The movie strength relies on you not knowing, and that's why the
Right.
trailer is very vague. The trailer is very vague. Like the teaser, you just see like at this time in the middle of the night, all the kids unlocked their doors, ran away from home, and were never seen again. And I was like, what? Like, that's horrifying.
Right.
I don't need any more. And then, even to my understanding, I did not see the full trailers, but to my understanding, the full trailers don't spoil the twist or anything like that. They don't spoil anything. And like, there's a character, if I'm not mistaken, like you never see in the marketing, because I remember being like, "Who's that?" Like it's all girl. She's nominated. She's
Right.
nominated, and she's essentially this. I got to be careful. I don't want to spoil anything. Anyway,
Right.
so I won't say it. But again, didn't even know this character was in the movie, and I'm like, who is that? That's an incredible look. What's going on? And it was just it had a great mix too. Like there was a lot of comedy, and I think
Yes.
that for some people that also they came in expecting, I thought this was going to be a straight horror, scary. And while it did have great jump scares, it had great jump scares. Got me a little bit.
Oh
Got
yeah.
Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin has one of the funniest jump scares in the entire movie because his reaction, it's so good, but it genuinely got me. But
Yeah.
then you can't help but like laugh after it because it was so fun, so exciting. But there's some great comedic moments in the movie as well as really dark and tragic moments. There's
Oh
this
yeah.
great balance. It never loses sight of that. So it has this great balance, and there's great tension. There's great there's moments in the movie where you hold your breath, like you're just like "Mm, don't want to move, don't want to move," and it's just great. But again, it's one of those movies that relies really, really strong on not knowing the plot details. So I'm gonna refrain from saying anything else. But that was a movie that I thought was great, extremely original and unique, and for
Oh
that it
yeah.
stands out. I know people wanted a sequel or a prequel. I was like, we don't need it, but if they want to, I'll go see it. But yeah, like your boy Zach Greger did a great job, and because of that movie, he's now on my radar. Like I'm like, okay, what's his next project? I definitely want to see it.
Yeah. He did Barbarian, so
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
another one that you
Yep.
enjoyed.
Yep.
And let's give some love to the cast. We have Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, uh, Alden, Aaron
Yeah.
Reich, um, Amy Madigan. She's the one that got nominated for the best supporting actress
Yeah, dude,
Oscar.
she's
So
great. She's so
yeah,
good.
a lot of unique characters in this movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's disturbing. So that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's disturbing. There's a couple jump scares here and there, but just
Mhm.
super disturbing aspect. And I think we saw this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw this
Absolutely.
together. You will don't want to overhype it, but you definitely won't
Yeah.
see the end. You won't see the ending coming. You absolutely
No,
won't
no.
see the ending coming.
Brother, I was just like it was like you're in there like your adrenaline just kicks up a notch.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I remember, and again, they introduced comedy in that part as well, and like you don't expect it, but it works. Like, oh my god, what an amazing ending. It felt I don't smoke cigarettes, but it was one of those endings where you felt like you needed a smoke. You were just like, oh, you're like, oh, that was good for me. Like it was that good.
Absolutely. Alrighty. And out of the two of us, the horror aficionado is Ricardo. So he's gonna have a
I
horror
was in it,
movie.
baby. Yeah,
Yeah, he might
yeah,
have multiple horror movies on his top 10, and usually they
yeah,
end up being high for him. So,
yeah,
but that's okay. That's okay. Alrighty, we're in the top four now. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there.
yeah.
So this is my number four. Let the thumbnail go. Alrighty.
Oh, yeah, that
F1, the
fell through the
movie.
cracks. I'm so mad at myself I didn't
Yes.
see it yet. I'm an idiot. Keep going.
Yes, it's okay. It's
Keep going.
okay. So we have an Apple Studios movie along with Warner Brothers Discovery. Oh man, this was such a fun movie. Oh, I had such a good time. So let's set the stage here. We have director Joseph Kosinski, who
Mhm.
also directed Top Gun Maverick.
See
And
that
and it felt like Top Gun Maverick, but in the world of F1. So you're just rooting for Brad Pitt in the lead character role, just this older veteran, coming back to help the new generation. And I didn't expect to enjoy this as much as I did. It was so
man.
exciting. So in Top Gun Maverick, the way that movie is, it's exciting because he puts you in the cockpit,
Yeah.
and then, when you're flying around, and it just got so exciting. And he applied that treatment to the drivers in the
Ah,
cars. So from that aspect, you see them going around the racetrack, you see the things that they have to deal with. It's so exciting, and you're rooting for them to win the races. Are they going to win the race? Are they not? Oh, so much fun. Solid cast. We have Brad Pitt, Damson Idris. Keep an eye out for him.
oh,
This
yeah.
young man's going to be making some movies moving forward. He's done a lot of work. You have your boy Javier Bardem. He was incredible. He had me laughing throughout the movie. We have Carrie Condon. She was great. I really enjoyed her. And let me see. I think that's it. That's it. But just shout out to Joseph Kosinski. Just solid movie, man. I had such a good time. Such a good
Yeah.
time. I don't want to give too much of the movie away, but it's a feel good movie. Here we go. 4 Oscar nominations. We have Best Visual Effects, Best Sound, Best Film Editing, and get this, it got a Best Picture nomination.
Yes, it did. I'm like, dude,
Best Picture nomination.
dude.
It was awesome. I had a great time. I had a great time. This is going to be sorry, Ricardo, but this is going to be one of the movies when you see it, you're going to wish you caught it in the movie theater
Dude,
because
I already
the
feel that
big
way.
screen and the sound
And
just
the sound
yeah,
design.
right, right, exactly. Because you saw Top Gun Maverick in the movie theater, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
what I want to let people know. Like the theater is what made Top Gun Maverick, an
Man.
experience. And Tom Cruise, rightfully so, is letting people know, please go see this movie. You're going to experience it better in the movie theater. And that's what F1 was to me. You needed to see this in the movie theater. But if obviously it's not in the theater anymore,
Listen.
so I think it might be like sometimes during the Oscars it gets re-released. So yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they do that. There's a local theater by my parents' house that does it sometime, but I may have to rent a theater for this because I'm like I was so upset because everyone said the same thing. Everyone was like, "Dude, you got to go see this in the theater," and I tried to go see it in IMAX, and nothing was lining up. I just could not find the time to do it, and I was so upset because then by the time there was any way, like it was already gone, and I was so disappointed. And to the point where like I haven't watched it at home because I feel like you said, like it's not. I want to feel it, and I'm like, oh man, so like don't get dude, I might rent a theater again, which is great because that they allow us to do that where hey, you want to watch a movie, you can rent out a screening, get some friends together and watch it. So be on the lookout. Maybe I will catch this in the theater one way or another. But yeah, so I'm so disappointed in myself, but
It's all
it
right.
happens.
Yeah,
So
it happens. Yeah.
I'll do my best to catch it. All right, so we are in number 4. It is now my turn. This was a movie that I think should have gotten a
Mm.
fully theatrical release, I think this thing should have been all over theaters, all over the world. I don't think it should have been as difficult. Like, you got to find this window. Like, no, it should be everywhere. Put this everywhere, man, and put it everywhere. So again, my number 4 coming in is from your boy Guillermo del Toro. It is Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
Man, listen, Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Christoph Waltz, Mia Goth, like
Oh yes.
you had me, brother. Like, you had me. And I was happy to see Jacob Elordi in a role like this, because I feel like he's getting a lot of work now. And a lot of people, found him in Euphoria, and that's kind of been like how they
Right.
discovered him. And I knew him from there and whatnot. And I was like, okay, I didn't really watch Euphoria too much, so I didn't really get a good, any good indication from the show itself. But watching him in here, just playing this monster character, so like delicate and sensitive, but can also be scary and frightening. And Guillermo del Toro, I'm just a huge fan, man. He's got this love for monsters, man, where he likes showing them being much more than just villainous and monstrous, but like in love and seeking love and everything else. And I love that. I absolutely love that about Guillermo del Toro, where he puts another aspect. You get to see it from a different angle. We've seen many interpretations of Frankenstein. You had the film Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. You had Frankenstein throughout the years, whether it's in the Universal Monsters, whether it's like a cameo in another movie like the Monster Squad. Like, we've had different interpretations. Van Helsing, like, we've got them all. And I felt like this was such a strong, I don't want to say definitive, because I would never want to say that about, because there's other pieces of work that are just as great.
Right.
But like, this felt like, oh my God, maybe this was the Frankenstein that I personally was waiting for so long. And having Guillermo be the one guy to showcase that, when I walked away from it, like the score, the set design, the performances, everything about it, the atmosphere, the vibe, I was like, this should have gotten a fully theatrical release. Netflix, what are we doing? You know what I mean? But it's a streaming service, so they put it out for a little bit and they go with it. But yeah, so coming in for me at number 4 is Frankenstein. I love this movie.
so didn't quite make my list, but that's okay. I enjoyed it. Wasn't quite my cup of tea. I have a respect for Guillermo del Toro,
Yeah,
but
dude.
his movies don't really make my list. They usually don't, unfortunately, but I do have a respect for what he does. He's great practical effects guy.
Yeah, dude. Practical
Great
all day.
storytelling. I want to give a shout out though. The Academy is excited for this because 9 Oscar nominations.
Yes.
So we got Best Sound, Best Original Score, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Costume Design, Best Production Design, Best Cinematography. We have Best Adapted Screenplay, Guillermo del Toro. We have Best Supporting Actor, Jacob Elordi in one of the leads. And then we have Best Picture, of course, another Best Picture nomination.
I was so thrilled that it got
Wild.
nominated for Best Picture. I was like, because I loved it, but I didn't think that was going to happen, and I'm so thrilled for it.
Well, so Del Toro has a way, for all intents and purposes, his movies, they're borderline between fantasy, sci-fi, and horror. More so horror, but he makes horror dramas. If I could put it like that, so really emotional. It's a Frankenstein movie, so of course you're going to see a little bit of body horror too, a little bit of body horror, but solid acting, I will say, solid acting.
Yes.
Oscar Isaac, man, in the title role.
I
Dr.
love
Frankenstein, but
I love it.
I will say this: when Jacob Elordi was announced as the creature, I'll be honest with you. I said, okay, that's an interesting casting.
It was.
Because, all right, let's just put it out there. Most of the things we've seen him in, it's been like that, the frat boy, you know? So Euphoria, here's a movie, Saltburn,
Yeah.
So, so it's just like, okay, then. And then I see this, I'm like, yo, this dude can act.
Right? Like, this was where I was like, I finally see him. There he is. It was great.
And it's wonderful that he's tall. So
he's very tall.
It added to him playing the creature, and there's a few twists, throughout the film that we won't get into. But good for you, Ricardo. Wow, this is really high. This is really high. What was it that moved you to the point that you felt like it could be this high on your list?
it really boiled down to like how Guillermo writes monsters, you know,
Okay.
and I love how he writes monsters, and he wrote Frankenstein no different. That Frankenstein, like anyone else, is just searching for love. That's
There you
it.
go.
Like as people, as living beings, all we want is to be loved and looked for love.
Yeah.
That's it. We want to feel that, and to have a movie where we have a creature that is essentially seeking this love, this validation, and coming to grips with what he is and dealing with that turmoil of feeling like he's not human, he's not man, and being reminded is like, no, you're special, you're beautiful. And then obviously the performances are great. And again, I love period pieces as well. And
Okay.
I just like all of those contributing factors all came together. The score, the cinematography, the costumes, everything else. It hit and it landed. And I remember again, this is another movie where I got extremely emotional. Like I cried a few times.
Mm,
Even to the point where I tried to get Brit to watch it, my wife, and
mhm.
when I told her, I said, "Hey, heads up, like it's a little emotional. There's some emotional scenes there. You might see some scenes of like that, are considered abuse." And she was like, "I don't want to see it." And she just immediately was like, "I can't then. I can't because I don't want to." She didn't want to feel that sadness. You know what
Right.
I mean? And I completely understand some people don't want to feel that. We have enough going on at work, so I don't want to feel that. And I like watching movies where I feel that because like it reminds me of like it's real. It's a real emotion. You know what I mean? And I just think there's something so beautiful about it. And like that final act, like again, I don't want to spoil the final act, but like the final act is just so genuine and beautiful. And you have these two characters telling their stories and then merging and come into this ending, and it just hits on another level. And I was like, oh dude, like this is, you have the father-son relationship, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
you have the abusive father and the son that is just like why if you created me, why would you do this to me? Like all of that rolled into that package, and it rang really high for me.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Good for you, Ricardo. Alrighty. Here we go, folks. The top three.
Whoo, baby.
Oh, yes. The top three. So this is
Oh, baby.
my number three movie of 2025. Let's get this screen share going.
Ooh, killers. Oh my god.
Predator.
This top 3 is gonna be good.
Killer of killers. Oh,
Oh, this top
yes.
3 is gonna be good. I'm like, "Oh,
Yes.
baby."
So I didn't talk too much when Ricardo named it
Mhm.
earlier on because I wanted to talk about it when we got here. So,
Yeah.
oh man, this was such a pleasant surprise. Not that
Mhm.
I didn't have any high expectations because Prey with Trachtenberg, that was pretty awesome. And then he went again, Hulu. I mean, another straight to streaming, and then it was just kind of disappointing. Like, oh no, like did he not prove to you guys about
Yeah.
Prey
Yeah.
that like,
Yeah.
but you know how it goes, just with advertising, marketing, all that stuff. It's less of a risk to do streaming versus the movie theater.
Mhm.
So I don't want to spoil it, but there are three time periods that this is what makes the movie, and that what keeps it interesting is that we jump from
Yeah.
time period to time period, and that's what makes it so interesting. So we have Scandinavia, so we have the Vikings,
Mhm.
and then we have Japan with the samurai and uh, and ninjas. So we have that, and then we have 1942. We have World War II, America
Yes.
in particular. So three different eras in which um, a predator or multiple
Mhm.
predators,
Oh, yeah.
um, make their way. So, um, and that's pretty much it, and that's what made it interesting. And because of it being an animated project, we could do that. We can explore all these different things without having to make a big production out of it if it were live action. So that's what made it interesting to me. Um, it's violent, man. It is
Oh, yeah,
really
dude.
violent, but that's what a Predator movie is.
Yes.
These things are um they are brutal, that they're called, well, for now, they're called the Predator, and they're called that for a reason. I had a great time with this movie. It was so much fun. When it was done, I couldn't wait to hit you up and tell you
Oh,
about it. Like, oh man, I had such a good time. And
dude.
And then they had this like stinger at the very end of the movie
Oh,
that got you so excited, and then they released another stinger again down the line. It was like
yep.
online, he's because he wanted people to come back and watch it again. But now we have
Mhm.
these extra scenes to share with you
Oh, it
at the
was
very
so
end of the
good.
movie, and it just kind of opened things up for the future of the franchise.
Mhm.
So whether they continue in animated or whether they do it in live action, or we'll have live action Predator movies, animated movies. We have
Mhm.
a director that is a fan of
Yes.
this IP. And after Prey and then seeing Killer of Killers, like Ricardo, I felt the same way. Whatever you want to do, man. If you want to
Yeah.
keep making
Take it.
Predator movies, by
Take
all
it.
means, keep going. Just keep going. We'll
Yep.
take it. And the thing about the Predator franchise is that, before Prey, it's just, oh man, there like I'll put it this way. There is some good to be had in
Mhm.
the Predator movies. However, overall as a franchise, they've been pretty disappointing, you know, in some way, shape, or form, after the first movie.
Yeah.
I mean, no shade to those of you that are fans of Predator 2.
Yeah, I eat you up, bro. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, put it
yeah,
on. Popcorn movie,
but
put it on."
and we talked about this. We did a breakdown for the original Predator movie, but the 2 kind of divisive, and then Predator's divisive, and The Predator very divisive.
Oh god.
So yeah, exactly. So and
Ugh.
then that's not even counting the AVP movies.
Yeah.
So Trachtenberg, he's just revamped this franchise. He gave us Prey, such an incredible story. Shout out to Amber Mid Thunder. We did a breakdown for that movie, and now he did it again with Killer of Killers. It's an anthology, and it just opens things up. And they don't give I'm not going to give it away, but they found a way to tie everything
Yeah.
together. And now we don't have to have separate story timelines. We can just move everything forward together. So yeah, had a great time. It is an animated movie, and it made it to my top 3.
Dog.
And
So good.
and yes, Predator is one of my favorite franchises. So yes, that's why it's in my top 3.
Yeah, and absolutely, as it should.
Yeah.
Again, I now that I've heard like what your 3 was, I'm like, "Oh, dude, this top 3 is gonna be so good." Like, I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm already I'm curious where 2 and 1 are gonna be,
Yeah.
but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, so for my number 3, seems like we are, keeping it in the same family here. For my number 3, it should be no surprise. And this one played a little bit. This one went
Yeah.
between 3 and 2, 3 and 2, 3 and 2, but it's Predator Badlands, baby.
Oh yeah.
Predator Badlands is my
There we
number 3.
go.
This went between 2 and 3 numerous times, and then 1 at a
Sure.
point. Like it just moved around and moved around. But dude, this was again Dan Trachtenberg. When they announced this, I remember being hesitant. I will never say, "Oh, I'm swearing off by," but I was hesitant because this would be the first live action Predator film after Prey.
Right.
And after Prey, I was like, "All right, great. What are we going to do live action?" It was like, "Oh, it's actually going to be from the point of the view of the Alja. It's going to be the Predator's POV." And I was like,
Right.
"Well, okay, that's interesting." And it's actually going to be in a future timeline. And I was like, okay. I was like, wait, we you nailed Prey. Like you nailed it. Like let's do that. Let's another timeline. Let's do that. And man, oh man, when I saw Predator Badlands in theater, same thing again. I was like, Dan, do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want with this franchise. You clearly love it. And he talks about it when people asked him in interviews, like, what made you want to do a Predator film from the point of view of the Alja? And he's just like, I wanted to make a movie where you see that character win. He's like,
Yeah.
every Predator movie we see, it's the humans winning. I'm like, that is true. Like, there are these amazing species, these amazing trophy hunters that have traveled the galaxy and taken on the best of the best. And usually in these films, a human character will get lucky enough to survive. Like, it's never like a human just destroys a predator. They just barely make it, right? But, he wanted to show this aspect of a predator of the Alja. And I was like, interesting. And then I remember the first images came out and the character of Decker's revealed, and people were kind of feeling a little weird. It's like, wow, why does he look like that? And then you figure out what the story is, and he's kind of a runt and he's got to earn his place. And you're like, oh, okay, we got an uphill battle. And the first 15 minutes of this movie, I was so locked in. Like, like I watched this for the second time with Brit, and Brit was crying, dude. Like she was crying in the first 15 minutes. She goes, "Oh my God, what's happening?" And I was like, "Good. I want you to feel that."
Right.
And like Dan just made you immediately care. All of a sudden, we're looking at this Yaji character, we're looking at Deck very differently, and we're like, "Oh, like we're rooting for you. We're rooting for this Predator character. This is amazing." And the entire movie, it's just I never thought in a million years ever with the success of Predator, the first Predator, and the many times that they've attempted to make more Predator films, I never thought this would be a route that they would take that would be as successful as it was. This worked. This had everything. This had great drama. This had great comedic beats. This had all the violence that you could ask for it, and it was PG-13. I was worried. People were worried. How do you make a PG-13 Predator? And at no point does it lose its viciousness. It's still violent. It's still got everything, but they had ways around it, right? It's an alien planet. So the blood is purple. The blood is green. The blood is orange. The blood
Right.
is this. And now you can show all the blood you want. You know, when it comes to rating system, if it's red blood, you're going to get hit with an R rating relatively quick. And they found ways around it. And it's just like, oh my God. And then come on, dude. We got Elle Fanning in this
Oh,
bad
she's
boy.
so good.
We got Elle Fanning in here crushing it,
Oh yeah.
being so delightful and charismatic, playing two roles, by the way,
Yes.
playing two roles in this movie, nailing both. You know what I mean? Playing Thea and Tessa, but oh my God, she is so delightful in this film that you can't help but walk away just loving her. You just love her so much, and you're rooting for her. You're rooting for Deck, and there's other characters that you will meet that I don't want to spoil that are just so entertaining. And Britt loved the other character. You know
Oh
who I'm
yeah, yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love the other character, and I love the reveals, and I love that it's still paid homage to the first Predator movie,
It did.
right? Like you had when Dutch had to go to the land and use the earth and create these traps, and you have a very similar situation with Deck. And you're like, oh my God, like I'm feeling there's the vibe, like there's the feeling. Dan Trachtenberg, you can do no wrong. I'm all about it. And also, I want to point out the fact that we get to hear Yaja the whole movie. You know what I mean? We get to
Yeah.
hear the language.
Their
We get to hear the
language.
language. And one more because I can go about this forever. I'm gonna try to be good, but I was also worried because I noticed that in some of the early shots of the trailer that the Yaja's face was CGI, and I was like,
Right.
"Ooh, I'm used to prosthetics. I don't know."
Right.
And then watching the movie and watching behind the scenes and realizing it's motion capture, that we have Demetrius giving his real performance in his
Right.
face, and there's a scene that's in the trailer that I had never seen in a Predator movie ever. And it's where Demetrius, as a Predator, is doing just eye acting. And it's when he falls off his spaceship bike that comes from the sky, and he falls off, and he's looking at the ground, and he's sad, and his eyebrows are up, and you see his eyes lower, and he's really sad. And then it goes from sadness to rage, sadness to rage, and his muscles, and his cheeks, and his jaw, and his teeth, and you're like, oh my God, this is
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
And it's just another element that Dan added that I never thought would work, and it worked. Again, I could talk about this movie for weeks. I'm gonna stop, but this movie absolutely ruled. Number 3, Predator Badlands.
Yeah. Ricardo and I went to see this movie together.
Yes.
Oh, we had such a great time. It was really awesome.
Ooh.
So, um, did you know that Predator Badlands would be this high for you?
When I first saw it, yes.
Okay.
Like I knew right away it was top 5. Like I knew, like
Yeah.
just walking away, and I think we talked about it a bit, but I was like, we knew it was top 10 instantly, and I was like, this is gonna be top 5. Like I was like, the what I felt coming out of this again was very similar
Mm,
to Killer of Killers. That when it was over, I was like, what's next? Where are we going? What are we doing? Dan, what else do you have in store for us in this universe? Like I was just ready to go, and that's such a good feeling that I haven't had in a while. You
right.
know, we would say that maybe when the superhero genre was like taking over the world, that feeling was there. Oh, what's next? What's coming? What's here? What's there? But that feeling has subsided a lot, and I haven't really had an IP or a franchise where I'm like, ooh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. And every single time Dan Trachtenberg puts out something Predator related, that's the feeling I get. And Predator Badlands was no different.
Awesome. Alrighty. So we're at the top 2 now, folks. This is my number 2 movie.
I have no idea. I have
It's Predator Badlands.
Okay, all right. I'm pretty sure we got the same number 1 then. I'm pretty sure, but yes, Predator
So,
Badlands
yeah,
right there, baby. Let's go.
Predator Badlands.
Your
So
turn to go off. Your turn to
it's
go
my
off. Go
so
ahead.
this is just talking about Predator back to back to back. So, oh man. So thank you for leaving a little bit for me, which is fine.
Yeah.
So Dan Trachtenberg, thank you so much. Amazing directing, amazing movie. We have Elle Fanning. I'll say is Thea for sure. And that's the person that we see the most. So I remember, so let's move back. So let me shift the conversation a little bit. I remember the first trailer. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
And then we saw that she was a synth.
Yes.
So they were just like, hold up, are we doing AVP again? You
Yeah.
know, like it was like a conversation of, are we doing Alien versus Predator? It's like, oh, no. It's just Wayland is a little bit to do with it, but this is a Predator movie. So
Mhm.
we have an unlikely team up of a synth and a Yautja, which by the
Yes.
way, that's existed, but we never actually heard them call that in the
Yeah.
movies. And now we finally hear them call that. So, and we're learning about, that's another thing. We get to learn about their culture and
Yes.
we get to find out they're not just mindless monsters.
Yeah,
These
that
things
was
have
the big one.
feelings. And we're like, I don't want to feel that way. These things are killers, you know, killer of killers, you know,
Yep.
so to speak. But I'm going to come back to Elle Fanning. She made this movie so much fun. She
great.
really made this movie so much fun. Demetrius, though. Oh,
Dude.
man. I didn't know. So you're thinking like voice changer. I mean, maybe there were some
Yeah.
effects, but we heard him use
Yes.
talk Yautja.
Yeah.
And oh no, he sounds just like his character in the movie.
Yep.
This man
That's
really
his
did
voice.
this. And then when you look at the behind the scenes, he's wearing the prosthetic, but his face is showing.
Mhm.
So Elle can see him and she can react to the acting. Back and forth there. There's so much entertaining spots in this movie. Oh man. So to play off of what Ricardo said, the opening scene is very emotional, but it brings you into the movie. It lays the groundwork for why do we have a predator as the protagonist, and it sets that up for you. And it didn't make it so don't get me wrong, we probably could have been able to watch the entire movie with just Deck, right? It could have been Deck's journey, but Deck's journey doesn't work unless we have Thea to help him along his journey. And I don't want to give it away, but it's such a great relationship with those two characters within the movie. She is hilarious. She is
so good.
Absolutely hilarious. I read online, you've seen it too, Ricardo. She's a combination between Donkey from Shrek and C3PO. All in one character.
Yeah.
She's so good. She does this thing with her voice where she goes up and down and she kind of laughs a little when she's talking. And it's really cool. And by the way, she's a synth too. So she has all these complex emotions and they explain it, by the way, you know, why she's like that. Just such action-packed scenes. Like it's like,
so
okay,
good.
so we have this conflict. We have to resolve this conflict before we can move forward. And they find this way to make it be exciting before we can move forward. And all the meanwhile, there's this stuff happening in the background that we don't find out until we get to the climax of the movie. I love Dan Trachtenberg. I do. Like dude,
I'm telling you.
So now he's 3 for 3 with Predator movies. So now we can talk about it. I didn't want to give it away, you know, with our top 10 here. So 2 Predator movies in 2025, right?
Yep.
And
both in the top 10. Like, come on.
And both made it in the top 10. So now we find out why, you know, Fox was like, well, listen, you know, 20th Century, like, okay, we'll give you one on streaming, the animated one, but the live action, we're going to do it in theater. And then, listen, we talk about this. It's a business, right? We want this to make more money. So the challenge is going to be to make it PG-13. And then to get around it, no red human blood, you know? So we have alien blood and don't want to give it away, but just other kinds of blood, other kinds of blood too, you know? And blood in air quotes. So, but they made it work as a PG-13 movie. Oh, this movie was so much fun. I had such a good time. When I saw it with you, in my mind, I already knew it was going to be in my top 3. I
Yeah.
already knew. I already knew. It would have taken a lot for this movie to move out of my top 3. I'm gonna be a, you know, a mark for the Predator
Yeah,
movies,
yeah, yeah, yep,
you
yep.
know? So, 3 back to back for Trachtenberg. We have Prey, Killer of Killers, and then Predator Badlands. Can't wait to see what's next. And then the way that he's done these movies is we don't know. Are we gonna see Dak and Thea moving forward,
Yeah,
or are we
like,
gonna see somebody else's story? We don't know.
yeah.
You know, is he gonna find a way to bring all these worlds together? We don't know. And I think in due time, we're gonna come back to these. I do want us to do a breakdown for Killer of Killers and
Oh, yeah.
for Predator Badlands, for sure. I would give a shout out to Elle Fanning. She's doing a lot of really good work right now. People are
Yeah.
talking about her in Sentimental Value. I've seen her in quite a few things over the years. She was amazing in The Great, absolutely amazing. I liked her in Teen Spirit. That's a great movie too. So shout out to Elle Fanning, shout out to Demetrius, shout out to Dan Trachtenberg. Predator Badlands, oh, so good, so good.
So good.
Makes me want to watch it again. And
Right?
that was
I'm like,
when the movie was over. I looked at Ricardo and I said, I think I want to come back.
yes, I remember that. Yes,
Yeah,
it's like it's that
yeah.
type of movie.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to. I watched it again when it hit streaming, but it reminded me of how much of a good time I had. So
There it is,
yeah,
baby.
yeah, there we go, there we go.
There's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
touch.
yeah. I don't have
got it
mine.
near me. I just got
Yeah,
it near me. No
yeah.
reason.
I
No
don't have
reason.
mine near me, but yeah. Number 2 movie of 2025, Predator Badlands. So
Love it. I love it.
alrighty.
All right, now we are my number 2. My number 2 was another this was an experience film for me, and it was the experience that really raises it the bar and why it ranks so high. Because again, when you go to the movies and you get these experiences and you go, I'm going to remember this movie for a magnitude of reasons, but there's always going to be movies that you remember because of the experience and how the movie makes you feel, that without a shadow of a doubt that by watching it here and watching it in the best aspect ratio, the best sound design, all that is going to play a huge role. So for me, my number 2, I saw it in IMAX, and I'm a huge fan of this franchise. So for me, my number 2 film of the year is coming from your boy James Cameron. It is Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Yeah.
It is no secret that I have such a love for this franchise. I had mentioned it to someone previously that this is my new Star Wars, in the sense where, like, I remember loving Star Wars, and now growing up at this point in my life and getting a new saga where I really wasn't sure if sagas was a thing anymore, and James Cameron focusing on a group of core characters and carrying their story through multiple films, multiple lenses, and just always blown away at the sheer technical spectacle of it all. Because again, at the end of the day, it's a technical spectacle, and I know that
Right.
a lot of the heavy lifting is coming from the visual effects and everything that I'm seeing, and understanding that when I'm watching these scenes and being blown away that they're in a warehouse. You know what I mean? Like, these are just a bunch of actors wearing motion capture suits inside a giant warehouse, giving these amazing, incredible performances. And then we get this final product where we just see everything that looks larger than life and so authentic and so real. And that blows me away. And I just love the saga of it all, and watching this family dynamic where you have Jake and Neytiri, which in this movie, I was so grateful to see them going through such a difficult time in their family after having lost someone that they loved. I don't want to spoil it in case anyone didn't see the second movie, but dealing with that loss and how traumatic that is for a family, and knowing that neither side was right, and hearing those arguments of a marriage falling down. And you have Neytiri's character being like, hey, we have to go with Awa, and then you have Jake being like, no, we have to do it for ourselves. And you have this battle of almost like religion versus action, and in all of that, and exploring these kids. And there's a dark scene in this movie. There's a very dark scene where you have one of the characters willing to go to a certain length because he can't deal with the loss and the trauma. And it's like, whoa, like, I didn't expect to see this type of scene in this movie. And the movie focuses on like showing as much emotional growth for a lot of these characters, and pain and anguish, and I appreciate that. And James Cameron, I think, does action really well, and big action pieces. So like, the movie obviously has a lot of really big action pieces, and they're just incredible to watch on the big screen. And these movies are over 3 hours long, and every time one of these movies ends, every single time the movie ends, I'm like, I could have taken another hour. I'm good. I'm locked in. Let's go. You know what I mean? Just because I'm so ingrained in that world. Like I'm ingrained in learning about, excuse me, every time we find a new tribe, we learn new cultures, and we learn this about this, and we learn the, you get the sky people, you got the fire people, you got this, you got that, and I love that, and I love that we're exploring it. And then like you introduce new blood, you get your girl Varang in there, who is so hot. This new villain is, Owana Chaplin comes in, and she just
Right.
got this amazing walk, dude. Like she's so much screen presence, and she carries it, and she's out there with Quaritch, Mr. Stephen Lang, having these scenes together, and you're like, wow. And then you get this dynamic where Jake is like living one aspect of Navi life, and then you have now Quaritch, who is also dealing with that from an opposite perspective, and you got the parallels, and you got them working together, will they won't they type of relationship. And then Jake trying to convince Quaritch, like, hey man, like that old life is no longer here, like that version of you is dead, you have a new life, a new opportunity, and playing with that idea. Like we're just exploring new elements and new themes that I'm really enjoying. But yeah, for me, man, it's the experience. Like again, this is so high because the experience of going to the IMAX, going to the theater, watching this saga take place before me, and just be like blown away at everything from technical to performance. Because your girl Natiri, Zoe Saldana, is like she's so good. She's such a great actress. And watching her crush it, and knowing that, like, again, they're in a warehouse. They're in a warehouse wearing these giant headpieces, and they're just going so hard performance wise. And I think about that stuff and go, wow, like, could I do that? Could I be in a warehouse in gray and black pajamas and like have this emotional depth of you know what I mean? Like holding a green box and crying to, like, it's just, I don't know, it just blows my mind. So for me, number 2, this flipped a couple with 3 and whatnot, but that experience just blew me away. Avatar, Fire and Ash for me, baby, number 2.
Alrighty then. So we've had this talk off the air.
Mhm.
Not one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah.
I respect what James Cameron has done with them. They are a worldwide phenomenon every time they come out. Some may argue that he could have just stopped at the first one, but
Mhm.
then after he finally made the second one and said, "Oh, well, I guess he's not going to stop," right?
Yep,
So he made
keep
a
going,
third
baby.
one. There's a rumor the fourth one may or may not get made. We shall
Yeah,
see.
I need it.
But
I need it. I need it. Please, just give it to me,
yeah,
please.
exactly. So it'll be kind of like the first Avatar movie and then the newer trilogy,
Yeah.
and then 4 Avatar movies overall, and then maybe he'll keep going, maybe he gives it to somebody else, we don't know.
Mhm.
Um, I will say this, they're a fun theater watch.
Yeah.
They're a fun
Yeah.
theater watch. When they're at the house, they're not as fun for me, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, like,
yeah,
it's different. Like, I've had friends that didn't see it in the theater, and I'm like, "Oh, never mind." You know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh,"
exactly.
I'm like, "If you're gonna watch it at home, you're not gonna feel it. You're not gonna
Right.
you need to feel that."
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I do get what you're saying, though. Like how much these actors put into it,
Oh, dude, it's
with
insane.
this technology and yeah. So good job. Wow, number 2, very high.
Yeah, very high.
Alrighty,
Sci-fi, saga, like, all that, like, it's got
that's
everything that
right.
I
Yeah,
love
it's a
about the
genre
movie, you
film.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Brother,
yeah.
I think we got the same number 1.
Alrighty, folks.
I think
So
I think I think we got the same number 1.
let's do a little recap here.
There was no planning on this, but
No,
I think
so in excuse me, in 2022, when we first put this out, excuse me, put it out in 2023. So our 2022 number 1 movie of the year, The Panel Bros. It was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mm.
Our 2023 number 1 movie was Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
Oh, yeah.
In Nolan We Trust.
Yes, all day.
2024, the Panel Bros shared a number 1 movie. Denis Villeneuve, Dune Part 2.
Mhm.
By the way, shout out to the Danielses. I didn't mention them for Everything Everywhere.
Okay.
Folks, this is our number 1 movie for the 4th consecutive year. We did not plan this.
No
We
planning.
are going to talk about this movie for sure. This is our number 1 movie.
Yeah, man. Gosh.
It's Sinners.
Good, like, God, good.
It's
God,
Sinners.
man.
What a movie.
What a movie.
Oh yeah, we're gonna gush about this.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler, you are ridiculous.
Mhm.
What a movie. Look at that cast. Look at
Didn't we
this.
see this together?
We did.
Didn't we see this together? We did. Yep. Yep. We did.
We did see this together. Um, so before we talk about Sinners, I'm gonna just let's let everybody take that screenshot in because we're gonna talk about all
Yeah.
these people here for a little bit because this cast was phenomenal. The story was phenomenal. This movie, oh boy, what a movie. So we're gonna come back here. So for you, you it was between Avatar and Sinners for your number one movie of the year. You were
Actually,
torn.
the Predator Badlands
Okay.
and Avatar kept flopping. So they were
So
doing
2
2
and
and 3.
3. Oh, so
And
1 was
then
all okay.
and then when I would go when there were days when Predator Badlands would be number 2, and I'm like, "Okay." I was like,
Oh.
"Could Predator Badlands be number 1?" And I was like, because of all the enjoyment I had, like, I never flipped it, but it just I thought about it, you know? I'm just like, "Ah," and at the end of the day, I was like, "Ah, man." I said, "I don't think anything's touching Center." So then Avatar and Badlands kept doing this, kept
Okay.
doing
So
this. But yeah, Sinners never
Sinners,
left that one spot.
it never left. So for
Never left the one
me,
spot.
once I saw Sinners with you, I said, "Okay, that might be the best movie of the year." And by the way, this was spring of
Yeah, dude.
2025, so it
Yeah.
was early in the year. And the only time where I ever felt it might change was when I saw Predator Badlands.
Mhm. That's what I'm
So,
saying. Like, yeah, like, it's
yeah,
like, "Wait a minute."
I saw and then I had to go through the decision. I actually thought about it. There was a chance that Predator Badlands was my favorite movie of the year. So I
Mhm.
rewatched both in the same weekend, and Sinners hit me the same
Yeah, dude.
way. It
It's
hit me it hit me again, and I said, "Oh, I love Predator." But I rewarded my Predator, picks from back to back,
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
because then it would have been Sinners 1, it would have been Predator Badlands 1, Sinners 2, and then Killer of Killers 3, like a little
Killer, yeah.
sandwich,
Yep, yep.
but it'll be fun to go back and watch this, and see, the list here. And then with you, it was Badlands, and then Avatar, and then Sinners number
Yeah.
1. But once again, I had to be true to myself. Like, I'm a big fan of the Predator franchise, you of Avatar and Predator. But at the end
Mhm.
of the day, we cannot gloss over the greatness of of Sinners here. So let's do a rundown of these Oscars here, which, by the way, record breaking as
Yeah.
far as Oscar nominations, 16. So
Unbelievable.
we have
Unbelievable.
so we have best visual effects, best sound, best production design, best original song, best original score, best makeup and hairstyling, best costume design, best film editing, best cinematography,
Mm.
best casting. I want to say that's a new category, if I'm not mistaken, where they reward a cast
Yeah.
for, it's like an ensemble award, and whoever did the casting. We have best original screenplay, Ryan Coogler. We have best supporting actress, Wunmi Mosaku. We have best supporting actor, Delroy Lindo. We have
Yes.
best actor, Michael B. Jordan, in a dual role. We have best director, Ryan Coogler again, and then finally best picture. When this movie was first announced several years ago, Michael B. Jordan in a dual role about a vampire movie, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
all right, action movie,
Yeah.
maybe a
Yeah.
horror movie. All right, let's see. And then we finally saw some trailers, and it's like, okay, well, oh, this looks like it'll be a fun watch, right?
Yeah.
And then Ricardo and I get to the movie theater, and we see this. By the way, theater was pretty packed for
Yeah.
the
Good
theater that
showing.
we went to. People don't show up a
Yeah.
lot, especially for a genre film.
Mhm.
That's not an IP, right? By the way,
Yeah.
Sinners is an original. Sinners is
Yes.
an original. So, and then as we're watching it, it's just unfolding of how special this movie is, and it's it's not, there's action aspects, but this is there's horror aspects, but this is like a statement film. It's a
Yeah.
drama through and through. It felt like a drama to me. And so many amazing performances, and there's so many lines that just hit you. There's so many emotional beats that hit you. There's some cultural significance to the African American community,
Mhm.
and Ryan Coogler is no stranger to that. You know,
Yeah.
he's directed some great movies over the years. I want to say, I think he did the first two Creed movies.
Hmm.
He did the two Black Panther movies. You know, Coogler's very talented. Fruitvale Station. There we go. There's a pull.
Yeah, that's oof,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go. So I'm gonna give Ricardo a chance to riff here, but for me, when I saw it, it said, okay, this is the best movie of the year. Everybody else, that's the movie you got to beat. And the only
Yeah.
time it came even close was Predator to Badlands. So I rewatched both, and nope, you're not beating this movie. So please, Ricardo.
Yeah, Sinners, I remember us watching at the theater, and there was that scene in the juke joint,
Right.
and I remember just saying like, "Oh, we're witnessing something special." Like
Right.
this, it surpassed just filmmaking at that point, and I was like, "We are witnessing something special, and that is going to have cultural impact." And I hadn't felt like that. My goodness, I can't tell you the last time I felt that watching a movie. And like you had mentioned, I remember the word getting around that Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan doing a vampire film. And I remember thinking, like, oh, that's an interesting choice. You know, they've worked together previous films and whatnot, and there's always these
Mhm.
strong elements of culture and real life, and you know, I was like, "Oh, vampires? Okay, okay." And then the first trailer came out, like you said, you're kind of like, "Oh, this looks like it's gonna be a fun time. This looks like it's gonna be a fun time." And you're watching this movie, and as the movie goes on, you start to realize that like this is much more than just a quote unquote vampire movie. Like someone might be like, "Oh, it's a vampire movie," but there's so much more to it. And obviously, we could talk about it forever when it talks about the themes, the layers, the emotion, the characters, and what like the representation, what everything means, the African American culture, the Irish culture. We got
Oh
we got
yeah.
to explore the Irish culture in here, and
I'll
Ryan
bet. Yeah.
Coogler has said in interviews that he loves the Irish culture, and he's always been a fan of it when it comes to Irish music and whatnot, and incorporating that in, and why having an Irish antagonist was so important,
Mm,
and finding the story elements that could be relatable between our protagonist and our antagonist Remick, and like just leaning into that and going, oh wow, like there's so much more than just this idea of, you know, vampires trying to get into a bar, a juke
right.
joint. It's so much more than that, and like what this means, and the idea of identity and losing one's identity and losing one's culture, and theft and this and that, and just all this in the Crow Jim Crow era, just like
Right.
dealing with all of that in itself is already extremely hard and difficult and tragic, and you're adding this supernatural element that kind of ties all those themes together, and again it's special, dude. Like the aspect ratio for the jukebox, jukebox joint scene, the juke joint scene I should say,
Yeah.
where it changes and Ryan wants you to get the biggest representation of the scene, dude. I was just absolutely blown away. And like the cast is stacked, dude.
Oh
Like
yeah. Great cast.
everybody's bringing it. Everybody's bringing it. And then we had your boy Miles Catan, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. Him like being the first time I've ever seen this guy, and he's
Right.
great. Like he's great. And then you have the religious themes, and you're
Oh,
opening with this, and like, dude, like all
deep.
that was like it. All of it is so deep. And I know it's cheap. You're like, oh brother, it's deep, but like
Yeah.
no, it was deep. Like it
Right.
really was. And I remember us walking out and thinking like, yeah, dude, that's the movie to beat. Like those guys made something special, man.
Yeah. So let me go back here. So Kugler, I'm just gonna do a progression of his filmography, and we're gonna do a breakdown of this movie. Obviously, we will, you know. So it'll be great when we get to talk about it. But look at this filmography: Fruitville Station, just the first Creed movie,
Mhm.
Black Panther, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Sinners. Look at this, you know, filmography. Um, I'm pretty sure Michael B. Jordan's been in every single one of those.
Bro,
So
it's the new Scorsese and Leo, right?
yeah,
Like
right.
it's Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler.
um, Love this cast. I love Haley Steinfeld. She's great.
Oh,
She does a
Oh,
great job, very shocking. What
yes.
her first line is,
Oh my god.
one of the first lines she has, it's great, very shocking, but she delivers a great performance. Um, Jack O'Connell, wow, as the
Yeah,
antagonist, what a
dude.
great role for him. He's doing well for himself right
Mhm.
now. Obviously, your boy Miles Katan with that unique speaking
Yeah.
voice and singing voice. There's a part in the movie where
Oh, yeah.
he reveals that he can sing and play. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Woo!
yeah, yeah. He reveals he
We
can
gonna make
play.
money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, loved it. I can't wait to do the breakdown with you. It's gonna be so
Yeah.
fun. Um, this was a phenomenal film.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. It wasn't just a movie, it was a film. A big win for Warner Brothers.
Yep.
And so the budget was between 90 and 100 million. It ended up making 369 million. So it was a
Yeah.
blockbuster. I wish it would have made more than that, but
Same.
unfortunately, originals, it's very hard. It's
Yeah.
very hard for originals to do that well. But for a genre film,
Mhm.
for so all right, so Wikipedia says it's a horror film. It is a horror film,
Yeah.
so but it's got so much more than that. And you
Yeah.
talk about that one scene, that one musical number was
Oh
phenomenal.
my
It
god.
was beautiful. And just a
Good lord.
celebration of music, a
Yeah.
celebration of culture. I had goosebumps.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was such a great scene.
And
And
there's multiple cultures represented in that scene. Like,
correct.
it's just so good.
Absolutely. And then when we walked out of the theater, I looked at Ricardo. I said, "This movie's gonna get nominated for Oscars."
Mhm.
There's gonna be not just, you know, and they have been. They've been going through award season, just winning, awards. We have the SAGs, Golden Globes, um, and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
So Critics' Choice, like they've been, cleaning up with these award categories. So there's 16 nominations. Um, I would be shocked if they didn't walk away with, at least a handful,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
of
I'm
Oscars.
Oh, dude,
It might
they're nominated for best original screenplay, correct? Best original screenplay, I'm pretty
I
sure they got.
wanna say, let's see, let's go back. Alrighty.
I think they got best original screenplay. I think that's a nomination.
Yeah,
Um,
it's gotta be. Alright, let's see
yeah,
here.
because I'm really pulling for that one. I would love Best Picture.
Yeah,
I have to see the other films in the Best Picture category. I have
right.
to see them. There's still others I have to see. I would love Best Picture, but I like for some reason there's something I would really, really love about Best Original Screenplay. The fact
Yeah,
that
definitely.
Ryan and it's like they wrote this story, came together, and made someone like, please get the Oscar
Yeah,
because my God, what a
yeah,
story.
and when we do our breakdown, we'll talk about, like, the theories that we had about what this movie
Mhm,
might have been before it ended up
mhm.
happening, and, I don't like throwing this term around too often, but it almost felt like an event film.
Yeah,
Almost. Yeah,
yeah.
almost felt like an event film. More so not in the box office, but more so just in the history
Mhm.
of film. And um oh man, what a good movie, right?
It was dude, it was so good, and I remember telling everybody, like, "Go see it." Like, anybody that was big fans of film and horror and everything else, and I convinced a few people to go, and they were like, "Dude, that was so great." I was like,
Yep.
"Right?" It's just uh, the movie could have been a very straightforward thing. It could have been,
Right.
right? Like, it's a vampire movie, I remember people saying like, "Oh, it's just From Dusk Till Dawn," and I was like, "Listen, I've seen From Dusk Till Dawn.
Right.
I love From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh yeah.
The only similarities that these movies have in common is vampires. That's it. Because Sinners has so much to tell us. There's so
Right.
much in this movie that completely helps it stand on its own, and elements I wasn't expecting, Like, I learned more about certain things that again, the idea of bringing the Irish culture into the movie and learning why Ryan did it, I was like, "Oh, wow," like, I learning through history,
Right.
this is why that, and what is it that Remick wants and why he wants it so badly, and what it means to him and these characters, and it's just there's so much about it, and there's an amazing wonder in the movie. If I'm sure you remember where, I believe it's Smoke that goes to the mini store, and then I forget her name, my God, but the woman who works there, she walks across the street and you see the segregation. You see the segregation
Oh,
of the buildings, and like there's a wonder like that. And again, you almost forget because you're like, oh, I'm watching the vampire movie, and
right.
then you're also like, oh wait, no, I forget. Like this is the Jim Crow era. Like this is you know this is there's so much more here. Lisa Chow is her name in the movie.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
But yeah, so like when Lisa like walks across the street and everything else, and you get to see this, and the movie does a lot of that. Like it kind of reminds you where we are, what time period we're living in, and the evils of this world, right? Like there's different types of evils in this world, and I don't want to ruin the ending of the movie, but like, again, there's more than one type of evil, and there's more than one threat, and there's more than one thing that they have to deal with. But it's just so well done, and I feel like you could feel the love in the movie. And Ryan Coogler talking about, I believe it was his late uncle who passed away,
Mm,
who was a blues singer, and
yeah.
tying that to the movie and what the music did for him, and being able to say goodbye to his late uncle on screen with these characters and performance. It was such a
Yeah.
beautiful thing, and I'm rooting for it, man.
Yeah.
I
Hope
am
they
rooting for this
recognize it.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lee Jun Lee as Grace Chow, Bo's wife.
Grace Chow. There you go, Grace.
Yeah.
There you go, Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
dude.
character.
Like
Yeah.
her. I loved her character, by the way, too. She got
Oh,
heat from a
yeah.
lot of people.
She
She
got
got heat
mad.
from a lot of people, but I was like, no,
Yeah.
I
And,
understand where she's coming from.
yeah, shout out to Jamie Lawson as Perlene, the singer.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and then obviously your boy Delroy Lindo. He's just been in the industry for so many years.
Delroy has been overlooked for too long. Give
Oh,
my
yeah.
boy the Oscar. Give it to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Such a great movie. I want to leave a little bit for when we do the breakdown, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah, so there it is, folks. The
Ah,
Panel Bros
Sinners, baby.
number 1 movie of 2025, Sinners, and
Love it.
appropriately named too. Lots of
Yeah.
spiritual aspects.
Again, the religious themes in that movie, brother.
Yeah,
I was like, ooh, I
yeah,
like this.
spiritual history, culture, a little bit of everything. Ryan Coogler,
Yeah, bro.
good
You
for
nailed
you,
it.
man. Good
You
for
nailed it,
you.
man.
Alrighty. Folks, that was the Panel Bros official top 10 best movies of 2025. If you could please give us a like, share, and subscribe on YouTube at the Panel Bros, we'd appreciate it. Also, if you could leave a comment below, we would appreciate that as well. The more that you interact with us, let people know about us, the more it helps our reach. Also, if you could please in the comments let us know how you felt about our picks and what were your picks for your best movies of 2025. We would appreciate that as well. Folks, stay tuned. We have got lots of ideas planned for future episodes. I'm going to start saying this more, just letting you know which episode. This is episode 93. So we are inching towards episode 100. We have a very special episode planned for you for episode 100, but we have other ones planned as well. Please stay tuned. For Ricardo Segura, this is Anderson Marchak saying thank you for coming to the panel.